What's going on, podcast pimps? Dana here to once again sing the praises of standard heating and air conditioning. I got on the ball early. I already got my AC tuned up for summer, and I think you should too. An AC tune-up means better efficiency, fewer breakdowns, and peace of mind before we get choke slammed with heat. And right now, it's their early bird special. $45 off an AC tune-up or $90 when you add your furnace in as well. Smart folks like me don't wait for the first 80-degree day. We plan ahead. Book by May 25th and check it off your list at standardheating.com. Providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
Hello and welcome to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. Today is our Friday, and like Josh says, the thing he loves the most about Fridays is that with every minute that goes by, we're all that much closer to Monday.
Almost there, guys. So close.
You dork.
We hope...
Wait, did you mean me?
Yes.
The young people would say I just caught a stray.
He says... Every minute that ticks by, you're that much closer to Monday, the beginning of a fresh work week. You're a very inspirational guy.
I'm an optimist.
We hope you got something wonderful ahead of you this weekend and you have the time of your miserable, pointless life. Walleyes and Bacon Jesus texted to remind us that this weekend is the, by God, Walleye Opener.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see you out there.
I completely forgot.
Are you really going out?
No.
Oh, I thought maybe you were because you went ice fishing for the first time. Maybe
Yeah.
I thought you...
No, I'm not going. It's ice fishing was nice, and if I get an invite to go out on the lake from my from my father-in-law, maybe I'll consider it. But no, I'm not going to be out there fishing.
Gotcha.
The
No plans
opener,
yet.
Cubby.
Yeah, that's fun.
For decades, my brother and my dad and I would load up for the Walleye Opener, go way the hell up north to the Canadian border and freeze our nuts off. All for the opener.
I haven't read the story yet, but I marked one to read later about how this year it's going to be more expensive to fish in Minnesota. So some fishermen probably already know what it says in the story. I haven't quite read it yet, so I'm assuming,
Licensing?
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
Well, that surprises me because everything's so cheap these days.
Oh, my gosh, you're not kidding.
We did it all for catching them walleyes, Josh. Freeze our bags off out there as a family. Early to bed, early to rise, fish like hell, and make up lies.
Love that.
That was a little sign the old man had in our fishing shack. You know how folks put a cute name on their boat now and again?
I love that kind of thing.
Usually it's the big fancy schmancy cruisers out there on Lake Minnetonka, who have the punny title on the stern. Things like ship happens.
From Arrested Development, I loved the C word. I thought that was pretty clever.
Oh, right.
Vitamin C, SEA. What else? Buoy.
Yeah, that's good.
People are funny, like hilarious. My dad's garbage fishing boat that we would freeze our nuts off in every Walleye Opener had a little sticker on the window. He thought it was cute. It said, Boatwiser.
I think, and probably if you knew your family, that's even better.
We did drain a lot of canned beer, canned Budweiser over the years at the friggin' opener. Slamming into rocks was a big part of the fun for me.
That sounds terrible.
It was terrible for the older guys who actually had to pay for their lower units and whatnot for their outboards, right? It was terrible for the older guys. But when I was a kid, I loved watching my dad or one of his buddies hit a rock. If you're a fisherman, text me, did your dad, when you grew up fishing with him, was he part of a group where you'd be out on a big body of water, and this is before you could pull out a cell phone and get the GPS of depths and this and that, right? At the most, our dads would have a paper map of the body of water. But did you fish with a dad or a dad's buddy who despite being unfamiliar with the territory, if there was a little channel leading to another body of water, by God, they'd try to put our boats through that channel in order to find a spot that, time has yet to discover, right? And every year, we would attempt to snake our way through one of these channels, and we kids would be up on the bow of the boat. We were rock spotters. And we go, big one to the left, right? And they go, okay, we're putting them. And eventually that outboard would catch a rock. God, those were good times.
Oh, I got yelled at once. The first time I ever operated a boat, I got yelled at because I didn't know you had to tip the motor. I should have known, when you were coming in close to shore. And I left thing there, and it just scraped the hell out of it. And I was my girlfriend's dad's boat, and he was furious. I'm like, I'm sorry, I had no idea. I'd never done anything like this before. I felt like a schmuck. It seemed like something I should have just known. He was not happy about that.
He should have told you about that ahead of time.
This is good. Super Dave, he sent a picture of a boat with the name Unsinkable 2.
That's I like that.
It took me a second, too. It took me a second to get that.
Is that a poop joke?
No, I think because the first one must have sank.
Oh. I thought
This
2
is
was
the
a
second one.
poop that wouldn't sink.
A floater?
I don't know. My old man and his buddies, they were stubborn like that. They had a little too much bravery where we would try to snake our way through these friggin' bays and channels that we had no business trying to make it through. The slogan in our fishing camp was rev down, rev up, bang. Because that's what you would hear at least once a trip. Again, we kids are up on the bow of the boat, and we would say rock to the left, rock to the right, or to adjust the speed, we would tell our dads in the back, running the outboard, we'd say rev down, slow down, or rev up in order to get past a rock. But eventually, every year you'd hear a kid say rev down, rev up, and then you'd hear a bang because the rock you had to be there.
Some other things I think they should tell you the first time you operate a boat is that no wake buoy, people take that very seriously.
They sure
Don't
do.
mess around. And sometimes that wake doesn't have to be much of anything to piss someone off. And to know not to go around other fishermen if you're out there.
Yeah, don't
Those
get
are
too
some
close.
things I didn't know my first time.
Cheesehead for life, Jesus texted in to say he was the spider on his dad's boat, and he said, you're right. It always seemed like if there was a small stream to another body of water, we had to get there. That's where the fish were at. So you had to make this dangerous journey.
Electrician Jesus has a pontoon that he's called the Aquaholic. I've seen that one before.
Sure. Chronic shower masturbator, Jesus. His dad, he
I
said,
thought that was going to be the boat name.
that's getting direct to the point.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there is a water reference in there when using, the word shower, but no, this is the Jesus handle for this sumbitch, chronic shower masturbator, Jesus. By the way, he sent in a picture of himself caught a 60-inch sturgeon on the Rainy River a couple of weeks ago.
That's a beauty.
On a walleye setup. He says it took an hour to get the sumbitch in the boat. Yeah, we were talking about sturgeon a couple of days ago because some kid caught a world record. Okay, he said his dad's buddy hit a rock trying to sneak through a channel. It broke off the prop and sent the boat up onto an island. I'm telling you, we always had those little catastrophes, and that was part of the fun when we were kids. Of course, you get a little older, you start paying for that stuff yourself. It's not that funny. But when you're 14 and you watch your dad or your buddy helplessly try to what's the word I'm looking for here? Like, the outboard hits a rock and comes shooting out of the water, right? And your dad is trying to wrangle, keep that thing. I can't come up with the word, but I think you know what I'm talking about. When that outboard comes shooting up out of the water.
Bushlight bow hunter Jesus said, I speak for all fishermen when I say, F you, wake boats. Doesn't like the wake boats.
Boy, that's the rivalry, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is.
Fishermen versus wake boats. It's recreational boaters versus wake boaters. No one likes the wake boaters.
Nobody.
And I'm not mad at them. They're having fun. I get why certain people don't like the wake boats, but I'm not the type out there to shake my fist at anybody. That's their thing. I understand.
I keep it to myself. I would never start yelling at somebody on a lake, but I'll definitely, under my breath, be like, you stupid mother effer.
Yeah, that's right, because it's not your lake.
Yeah, exactly.
But under your breath, you refer to them as stupid mother effers.
Yeah.
See, they don't like to hear that. They're just trying to wake.
Some of them can be.
They're trying to wake whatever they do. What do they do? They're surfing, wakeboard. I mean, I've seen it. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, I wouldn't really know either.
They're kind of on a thing, and I got no problem with those sumbitches. Like I said, they're doing their thing. Magic playing machinist Jesus said, I wouldn't want to be filling up a boat with gas this year.
Boy, you're not kidding.
Yeah,
God.
true that.
Yeah. I should have. I even Googled it before we went out of town. Should I get gas now? What's going to happen with gas prices by the time I get back? And it did warn me, you should probably get it now. And I thought, what do they know? I came back, it was like $20 more to fill up the tank.
I Googled how to make your own gas.
Did it mention go for it on taco night or something? That'd be confusing.
I've told you guys before that I've never really paid much attention to the gas prices because I've always thought, well, I'm going to have to get it anyway. It doesn't really matter. This is the first time where I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, yeah, it makes a difference. Dusty Blades Jesus said he named his boat Bass to Mouth.
Oh, no.
Dude.
I haven't seen that one before.
That's
A lot of these
beautiful.
you've heard.
Never go bass to mouth.
I love these fishing stories that are being sent in. Everyone have fun and be careful on the Walleye Opener. I know a lot of you are heading out of town. Some of you, you make a break.
Gosh.
Some of you make a break for it way ahead of time, leave on Tuesday or Wednesday, but I'm sure a lot of folks are heading up north today.
But at Fishing Guy Jesus said that it's $6.50 on the docks right now for gas.
Man.
I love these old fishing stories. O-Town Carpenter Sauna Jesus. He said he and his buddy Johnny Bottles, they were fishing in Ontario with a rental 16-foot Lund. They were flying back to the cabin, flying across the water, Josh, with that 9-horse maxed out.
Woo!
Fun.
But that was loud.
Skipped over a rock, got at least a foot or two of air. The rock was, 1 foot under the water in the shape of a ramp. So that tells me that hundreds of other boaters had.
That's fun, though.
The motor flew up but came back down. It was all good. He says he appreciates the laughs. God, that just brings back so many great memories. Slapping into a rock. Finding yourself in a bay where you just don't know where you're at or what you're doing, but you're going to go for it anyway. I remember once years ago we got into, again, way up in Canada, and our dads who were running things, they knew a few spots, but still a lot of it was unfamiliar, and, you don't know what you're going to get. Rocks, this, that. So we asked a Canadian up there at the resort, we asked him, about a certain island. And he said, yeah, you get there by going this way and that way, but he said, be careful. When it's windy, he said, if you get on the wrong side of that island and it's windy, you could find yourself in trouble. The big rollers are serious business. So we head in that, and my dad says, okay, I got you. And again, we're in a 16-foot friggin' Lund with a 25 horse on the back. It takes us quite a while to get somewheres. And, that's a small boat for these large bodies of water. So we get to this island. The wind is blowing. And it was obvious quite quickly that we were on the wrong side of that island. My dad went on the wrong side. He forgot what this Canadian guide had told him. And we got rollers. It looked like you're watching that Mark Wahlberg movie from years ago, although this was way before. This was in the mid-'80s. So
That's terrifying.
So anyway, my brother and I were fairly young, so we had our life jackets on. The old man, of course, never wore his life jacket. But we got into these rollers to the point where he killed the engine because he knew he had no chance. And he told us, he said, boys, we're just going to ride this out, okay? And I got to admit, I puckered up a little bit.
Yeah.
But the moment that I thought, okay, this is it for us, is when, and he tried to make it as subtle as possible, the old man reaches behind himself and puts his life jacket on, grabs his life jacket. And I said, if this friggin' idiot's putting on his life jacket, we're in real trouble. And sure as hell, we just let it push us away. We didn't try to.
If my dad ever put on his life jacket, I would think that that's the day that I'm going to die.
That's what I thought. And I started, and you've probably been there, I started picturing, okay, if we go into the water now, could I make it to it? I mean, will I make it? Will my brother make it? Will all of it? The old man ain't going to make it. But, you know, I started to look at islands in the distance to estimate whether or not I could make it.
I've been in that type of situation, but I was in a canoe. I was up in the Boundary Waters, and it was one of those days where you wake up and it's windy as heck. And I was like, well, you know, we'll wait a little bit until we start making our way back across the lake, get back home. And we were waiting, and it just kept getting worse and worse. And I thought, all right, we're just going to have to do it now. We're just going to have to get in the canoe and try our hardest. And, I mean, the whitecaps were so bad that it was coming into the canoe. And I thought, this is it. This is definitely how I die.
The canoe?
Luckily, we made it. But my arms, I don't think were normal because of how hard I was paddling. Because I thought,
paddle
if
or
I
die.
don't, I'm going to die. Yep. Oh, that was just cooked.
Paddling for your life.
I've never worked hard in a canoe. That's what's been so relaxing. I can't imagine being in that situation.
So scary. But then, you know, once you get past those whitecaps and you hit just calm water, you're like, oh, all right.
We got another fishing story from Chronic Masturbator. Sorry, Chronic Shower Masturbator Jesus. It sounds like he's had some adventures.
In the shower.
What's that?
In the shower, certainly.
In the shower and out on the fishing boat. Here he says they were in Familiar. Good. We were in Vermilion. On Vermilion. Tiny little Lund. Surrounded by everyone in their $100,000 Ranger boats. Sure. From what he says here, he and his dad in that little Lund were trolling, and there were some slap asses who were kind of cutting into line, you know what I mean? Once you get a series of boats kind of trolling around the same island, there's an unwritten rule that you stay in your formation, right? No line cutting. He said a couple of peckerheads in these $100,000 boats were cutting into line. His dad said something. The guy in the Ranger said something. Chronic Shower Masturbator Jesus says, next thing you know, we go to shore so the two of them can have a fist fight.
You mentioned a $100,000 boat. I bet it's pretty easy to spend that on a boat nowadays.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I bet you don't get nearly as much as you used to.
How about these guys like this? Listener says, I just bought a new outboard and apparently didn't secure it to my boat.
Oh, no.
Took a turn, it jumped off the boat and sunk. I had to hire divers to get it all out of the off the bottom of the water.
Oh, sorry that happened. I bet that was crazy
Son of
expensive.
a-
That sucks. I'm sorry.
That's a 715er right there.
They got enough trouble, don't they? Ashley,
He let that outboard fall right off the back of his boat.
you love to fish, and this will be your first Mother's Day as a mother.
Yeah.
Are you going to do any fishing this weekend? Is that part of the plan?
No, I completely forgot that it was even happening. But
What?
maybe soon. My dad got a boat like a couple years ago, and we haven't been out nearly as much as we should have been. So
You want another boat?
I want it.
You've been pushing that boat on us for a while now.
Someone's got to buy my boat.
if I had room for it, I would talk my husband into it, but we don't have room.
Now, not everybody's excited about the opener. Here's a text message from Medical Device Jesus. He said, all Walleye Opener means to me is that 94 in the West Metro is going to be choked by 1 o'clock today. God, I hate cabin people and fishing dorks.
Sorry.
Yeah, it'll be busy.
I love the anger in that text message. You just feel it.
Twisted mind, Jesus says. How about when your dad gets the prop tangled up in the lily pads and the weeds, and you got to spend 15 to 20 minutes floating around aimlessly while they clean the prop? We had some great times, man. We had some real characters growing up when we would go on those fishing trips up to Canada, our regular spot. After a certain amount of time, when we got a little older, my dad got a fishing shack on the Ash River up Orr, Minnesota, which leads to Namakan and Kabetogama Lakes. That's where we spent a lot of our time. We had some real adventures, man. Some of it was a little scary because our dads were all hillbilly cowboys with zero fear. But
intoxicated at the same time.
The beer drinking was ungodly.
God, that does sound like so much fun, though.
I was always thrown as a young kid at how well my dad and his pals could recover from cleaning out pretty much a case of beer each. You know, when we would go to these Canadian fishing trips, there was an adult's cabin and a kid's cabin. And our dads would just pour beer down their necks for 16, 17 hours. And I'd pop up out of bed in the kids' cabin and go over to the adults' cabin because it's time to go fishing, right? Early in the morning. There was not an empty table, an empty space anywhere in the cabin because it was all empty beer bottles. And those boys they'd already be awake.
It's different. You get in like a different mindset, or like your body just like changes when you're out on like fishing trips or doing something like that.
Well, plus I think that generation was wired differently.
Yeah.
There was something about those sumbitches who were born in the 30s and 40s that they just were tougher than most. They could drink all day and all night, get about 3 hours sleep, and be mixing up some on a shingle for breakfast, looking like not a damn thing happened. The proof was there, all the empties.
Well, I guess most of them are vets, so maybe they
were tough.
They can get through anything.
Yeah,
they
no
were
doubt.
friggin' tough.
Iron Range Jesus, I think he might be gaslighting a little bit. He's in all caps. He says, "We don't have good lakes up here. Stay in the metro. That's where the good fishing is. No reason to come up here."
Yeah. Those were wonderful times. What the hell else is going on around here?
Well, yesterday I had a thought that maybe I've been here too long. I was having an issue with a particular subscription I have for work here, actually. And I had emailed them and said, "Hey, this thing's not working." They got back to me and they're like, "Cool, we fixed it, don't worry." So I responded and said, "Thank you. Is there anything I could have done on my end, so I don't have to bother you guys?" And he said, "Nope." He said, "Just email us. It was a back-end issue." And I almost responded, "I'll show you a back-end issue." That was my first. I started to type it and thought, well, what am I doing here? I don't know this person. I've worked here too long. It was an instant reaction.
You wanted to come at him with a filthy joke.
Yeah, I'll show you a back-end issue.
Yeah, you've been kind of brain effed over the years.
It's like the Pavlov's dog
right.
thing, right?
Oh, yeah, you've been conditioned.
Somebody says something and there's an instant reaction that could get you in some trouble.
It's a natural reaction for you to try to come up with a dirty joke. You're the dirty joke guy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Always has been.
All right. Love these fishing stories you're sending in. People are sending in their fishing stories. I'll have more time when we go to commercial to read through some of these, but it's the opener. We might as well talk a little fishing. Drinking beer, chewing tobacco, eating garbage.
Forgetting about Mother's Day.
Until you catch some fish, then you've got some good food. Other than that, we kind of ate garbage. Mother's Day, sure. I mean, that's another memory that I have is always having to pull over somewheres, to run up to the resort, the one phone at the resort, right? The one rotary phone at the resort to call Mom on Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, right? We always had to take a break from opening fishing to call Mom.
I've heard some moms say they love it. That's how they prefer it to be that way.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't
Do
want
some mom time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Give them some time to themselves, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, darn. My husband's not a fisher. That sucks. He'll never leave me alone on these weekends.
He's going out of town?
No, he's not. He's not really into fishing. No. He had a boat for a while, and so I was like, "Oh, cool, dude. You must like to fish and all that stuff." And then he was like, "Nah, I I got some huge speakers for it and just took it out on the water. I was like, that's so lame. You're
Huge
so lame.
Speakers?
Yeah, like kind of like a party boat. Like him and his buddies would just go out there and get drunk.
He had a party boat.
I'm like, that is so dumb. What do you mean?
What's wrong with having
That sounds awesome.
Because I thought I was really excited because I've always been into fishing. I was super excited when I found out he had a boat because I thought he was also very into fishing.
Well, what, you can't hang a rod and reel off the side of a party boat?
I guess you could, but I just thought he was more into it.
Oh.
And I was like,
Every Independence Day booze cruise, Josh brings a cane pole.
Heck yeah. the fish like the techno music and all the lights and everything like that.
That's something else we can talk about here on our opening fishing broadcast of the Half-Assed Morning Show. Are any of you old enough to where one afternoon at the cabin your dad handed you a cane pole? Ooh, this looks like fun.
We used to do live.
Go ahead, fish off the dock. They'd hand you a cane pole.
No, I never used one.
We used to do live broadcasts for things like fishing openers and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
God, I wish we still did that. That'd be so sweet.
No, it wasn't sweet. They went nowhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pretty much. Maybe that's why we don't do them anymore.
darn.
Yeah, no one showed up.
Well, was it at the regular time?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Normal show time.
No, the right move would be to like do it at like 4 or 5 because then everybody's hammered already, and then that can be fun.
Yeah, no one showed up. It's a long story, but
Kind of makes me sad.
well, don't be sad. I mean, we had a good time. It's just we were alone. Again, it's a long story. I'll sum it up like this. Hey, let's put a Twin Cities morning show in a resort on opening fishing in a town that doesn't get our morning show. And when I say get, I mean
Receive.
Receive.
The broadcast doesn't go
the
there.
broadcast doesn't reach that
And this
far.
is pre-streaming and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, if we would have been on, what's that? If we would have been at Prior Lake or something, I'm sure we could have gotten a few people. But no, I mean, so we would sit there and broadcast live for opening fishing and have the guy from Rapala there to talk about the latest, and there'd be nobody there. But fishermen eventually would show up and say, "Who are you?" And we didn't expect them to know us. It was just a bad idea from the get-go. It was, why are we broadcasting from a place that is completely unaware of us?
We did do one from Prior Lake. It's funny you mentioned Prior Lake.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no memory of that.
Just one. Just one.
Opening fishing?
Yeah, I think it was opening fishing.
I have no memory of that. Is there anything that I should have remembered from that?
Oh, we had fun. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely, like, the owners were great. I remember it was a little lightly attended.
Oh, was that when you took on those two blondes?
3 blondes.
3
Yeah,
blondes?
it took me a second to think about it. Yeah, there was 3 blondes and 2 redheads. And a brunette.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here we go. Friday morning, you're a hell of a crowd, and, I'm going to go through these fishing text messages that have been sent to 651-989-9393, Luther Bloomington Kia text line. I know a lot of you's got some great fishing stories you're telling us this morning, and it might even prompt some of our own, so appreciate that. What are we doing later? Whatever, Randy Shaver, blah, blah. In a few minutes, we'll come right back and hit up the stupid news. We'll be back in a few minutes.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
What's going on, podcast pimps? Dana here to once again sing the praises of standard heating and air conditioning. I got on the ball early. I already got my AC tuned up for summer, and I think you should too. An AC tune-up means better efficiency, fewer breakdowns, and peace of mind before we get choke slammed with heat. And right now, it's their early bird special. $45 off an AC tune-up or $90 and you add your furnace in as well. Smart folks like me don't wait for the first 80-degree day. We plan ahead. Book by May 25th and check it off your list at standardheating.com. Providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Years of hard work, and now you've got pain in your back, your shoulders, your knees, maybe your joints. You need help. Randy Shaver here with the answer. Dave Bialke. He's got over 30 years experience in getting workers' compensation benefits for people just like you. Don't suffer. Call Bialke Law today. 763-571-2410 or go to bialkelaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com. And it spells relief for you.
The Hammer Alley Podcast, an 80s flashback mockumentary.
Modestly speaking, in 1987, we knew Hammer Alley was better than Def Leppard, White Lion, Glass Tiger, John Cougar, and other artists named after wildcats.
How did they go from top of the rock to rock bottom?
Bet Bandit 1 Battle of the Bands Hammer Alley is as current as a bowling alley. Have you been in one of those lately?
Hammer Alley.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
We will be full-on scissoring the stupid news report before you know it. But first, we were having so much fun. It's Walleye Opener, by God. Good luck to everybody. A lot of fishing stories have been texted into the program. Wanted to recognize those stories because I love it. I love telling fishing stories from when I was a younger guy. 651-989-9393 is our text number. Some great fishing or boating stories have been coming in. Let me share a few of these with you. Again here, Cubby, we got Sit Down, Waldo. Jesus. Who texted in yesterday about something or another. I think he was talking about his occupation. He's a bus driver. Anyway, he says this was his mom's last time in the boat. Now, I don't know if he means because she's checked out or she just now refuses to boat with the rest of the family. He said it wasn't a fishing trip. It was 4th of July fireworks on Prior Lake.
They have great fireworks there.
That's always fun, watching the fireworks from a boat.
They got some chicks out there. Anyway,
Candy Cove.
What did you say?
Out there, Candy Cove.
Candy Cove, yeah. So here's Sit Down Waldo, Jesus, and his mother, and a few others. There were 6 people in a 16-foot aluminum boat with an 18-horse Evinrude. So they're out there on the lake watching the Prior Lake fireworks. After the show was over, they fired up that Evinrude to cruise back to shore. He said we were surrounded by huge, huge boats. We ran out of gas. There were 4-foot waves everywhere you look because of the wake of all these large boats. He said we were out there looking like a damn bobber.
I'll bet.
Out of gas. Jeez.
One of
That's
our
a
listeners, chugged up plumber Jesus, was out duck hunting, and they hit a rock in their duck hunting boat. It rattled him so bad he dropped a shotgun into the lake. And
No.
And the damn thing is still down there somewheres.
No.
That damn dog.
Duck Hunt.
What was that?
Did you guys love that game, Duck Hunt?
Oh, yeah.
On the Nintendo?
Oh, actually, I remember it. I don't remember liking it very much.
Oh,
but
really?
Yeah, I remember.
thought that was cool. Like, you had the little gun, and that stupid dog would always taunt you.
Stupid dog. Funny thing about Duck Hunt is when I was reacquiring my old video game collection, I, of course, got Duck Hunt, and I hooked it up, and I got the light gun, and I'm shooting at the screen, and it's not working. I'm like, oh, I must have a faulty gun. So I bought another gun. Same thing, shooting at it. Nothing works. I got 2 faulty guns in a row. So I ordered a third one, and then I finally Googled, the light gun doesn't work on normal TVs these days, the flat screens. It's got to be a tube TV. So I was thinking it was like I was buying faulty guns. I was leaving bad eBay reviews, but it was my own dumbass fault for not realizing that it has to be that curved tube TV in order for it to catch the light.
And now you've got 3 guns.
Yeah, and now I have three guns.
If there's ever a war, you're the guy.
Here's another fishing-related text from Hole Digger Jesus. He has a question, actually. How old were you, he wants to know, when you realized that talking doesn't scare the fish away? It was just your dad wanting some friggin' peace and quiet.
Yep, once I started fishing by myself.
I remember that in the car. My parents getting, who wants to play the quiet game?
Oh, yeah.
And we were little, of course, we wanted to win that quiet game. Don't say a word.
I love those parenting tricks, like when the parents will tell their kids, if the ice cream truck is ringing the bell, that means they're out of ice cream.
Yeah, I love those too. Because you can do that. You can just lie. It's great. You can just lie to them about anything.
Kids are so stupid.
They believe you.
Big Bearded Jared says, for Walleye Opener, he's going to get real drunk and fall asleep on his dock tonight. So then when he comes to, he can fish without getting out of bed. One of our listeners says, when I was a toddler, I went on a fishing trip with my grandparents. We were on the dock, fishing off the dock. My grandpa caught a fish, and he tossed it to me. I was so small, The fish knocked me off the dock and straight into the lake.
Mm-hmm.
We were fishing, says a listener, cruising from one spot to another, and the engine was acting up, bogging down. So I shut it off. I acted like I knew what I was doing, trying to fix it. Started it up again. We took off, and the sumbitch was still bogging down. I came to realize that we left the anchor in the water.
Oh, jeez.
It took all three of us to pull it up. The club of weeds around the anchor was half the size of the boat. They were just dragging that son of a bitch across the bottom of the lake.
You guys ever get one on the line and you think, oh, my God, this is a monster. It's probably a mermaid, this thing's so big. I'm having trouble, and you bring it, it's just completely disappointing.
Yeah.
I've had that a couple times where I thought, am I the weakest person in the world? Why was I struggling so much with this little guy?
You mean like, pulling up an anchor?
No, a fish.
Oh, and you did not.
Where I thought I don't have a ton of. I'm a city kid. I don't have a ton of experience, but I remember thinking once, like, all right, get the record books out. Somebody bring a ruler. This is going to be massive.
It's a little sunny.
Some of those fish have some torque to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even the little guys.
Nick, have you ever done this bit where you throw the anchor in, and then you watch the rope unravel? Oh, and then the rope goes in too because you forgot to tie the anchor down.
That's good comedy.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
I've gone out onto the lake without the plug in the boat. But no, I never casted the anchor into the water for permanently.
Ever take a lure into like it's stuck in your skin?
Oh yeah.
My sister was notorious for that. She ripped half my forearm off once.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad, knock on wood, that I've never done that.
That's what turned me off for fishing. I was a Boy Scout for about 6 minutes, and we were fishing off the dock. Yeah, you can't picture me as a Boy Scout, can you, Ashley?
No.
You could win the Nintendo badge pretty quick.
Exactly, and it got caught so bad in my finger that we almost had to go to the urgent care, whatever, to get it out, and that's when I decided, yeah, I'm good on this sport.
Yeah, I've caught my hands many times with those Rapalas when we were kids. We used those big heavy daredevils. When our dad first taught my brother and I to cast, we would tie on those big heavy daredevils. And my dad, being the clever cat that he was, just for laughs, when my brother and I were preparing to cast, he would put a motorcycle helmet on. While sitting in a stationary boat.
Smart.
Just in case we wanted to hook the top of his head. Now listen to this one. Pro Painter Jesus is texted in. I was fishing with my blind cousin. He casted. His lure went over to another boat and hooked someone's shorts. He set the hook and he said, I got one.
No.
I'll tell you one more personal fishing story. And although this might go all day long, we're receiving so many great text messages here from fishermen here on opening weekend. This was one of my dad's best buddies. The Beauty was his nickname. The Beauty. Real character, as you might imagine. Been to prison a couple times. Anyway, one day, my brother and I, the Beauty, and the Beauty's son were all in the same fishing boat. This is up in Canada, middle of nowhere. My dad must have decided to fish with someone else. It doesn't matter. So my brother and I, we were probably 11. So it's me and my brother and the Beauty's son, who was also our age. The Beauty had a little too much to drink in the boat that day. He liked that brown water. Brandy, I think. So he's pretty loaded. Safety first, right?
Of course.
Let's put the kids in the boat with the guy who's going to clean out a handle of brandy by 11 a.m. But, he was hilariously drunk. And it's all quiet. We're fishing. And suddenly the Beauty says this. Uh-oh. And we said, what? And he goes, well, boys, I just shit my pants.
Oh.
And we said, huh?
What, dude?
Yeah, I did it. I shit my pants. And as 11-year-olds, now that we see the look on his face that tells us he's telling us the truth, we are inconsolable. We're laughing so hard that this grown man has just...
I don't care what age you are. That would be awesome.
We had a stringer full of walleyes at this point. Now, nowadays, most folks use a live well, but back in those days, we just put that steel stringer over the side of the boat, and we had 5, 6 walleye on that stringer already. So here's what the beauty decides to do. He gets bottomless for us, which we enjoyed the hell out of that, right? Gets bottomless for us. We turned away while he cleaned himself with some lake water and a bucket. And then he takes his soaked underwears. To clean them, he tied them to the stringer. So as we're trolling along, there's our 6 walleyes floating along on the stringer and his friggin' destroyed tighty whiteys. And as an 11-year-old kid, I kept thinking, do I really want to eat these fish tonight after they've been swimming in the beauty's poopy underwears? I did. I feared maybe I was going to get sick. Those are the type of characters through my dad that we got to fish with as young kids.
I love that he wanted to salvage those undies.
Yeah.
Yeah, just toss those,
Clean
man.
them. No. They cost money. We got to clean them off, boys. I did it this time, he said.
Did you immediately run and tell your dad?
Oh, I mean, no, this was nothing that would have shocked my dad.
He would have been more surprised if he hadn't crapped his pants.
Yeah. Oh, no, this...
It's coming. Just wait.
This was not a unique moment for the beauty. This was just a blip on the radar, you know. So my dad didn't even bat an eye when we told him, hey, we got to see your buddy's D and nuts today because his pants on the boat because he's hammered. I mean, that was the other thing, is I don't know how many times we as 10, 11-year-old kids, we were in charge of driving the boat back to shore because the grown folks were too drunk to do it. I mean, that's a nerve-wracking experience.
That's so awesome.
In the middle of nowhere in Canada, I'm like, okay, I'm running this sumbitch while the old folks are...
My wife learned how to drive at 10 years old because her dad really liked to drink and drive. So he'd just hand her the keys. He'd bring her to the bar. And so, yeah, she's been driving a lot longer than I have, and she's younger than me.
Somebody's got to get the car home, right?
Yeah. That was her gig. She was the designated driver at 10 years old.
Again, I know this won't be the end of our fishing stories, so if you got one, 651-989-9393. Yeah, the beauty. All right. Let's get to the stupid news here. Some of you cheap pricks, you stiff the pizza man, don't you, now and again?
Never.
Well, not you. I'm sure you're quite generous. But I know some folks in our listening audience, you bastards probably stiff the pizza man, don't you? Go ahead, mess with the pizza man. If you want, go ahead and do it if you want some of this heat. A pizza delivery man in Missouri, he ran over a customer with his car who stiffed him on the tip. You want some of that heat, Cubby?
No, not at all.
I didn't think so.
No, I'm a good tipper, and I think, what do they say? You never mess with somebody who's preparing or delivering your food.
Yep.
Terrible idea. Well, I have buddies that worked in food service, and some of the stories they tell me about some of the disgusting things they do to people that probably deserved, well, maybe they didn't deserve what they did, but had something coming to them with karma.
Brings up a question, Josh.
What?
What would you rather have? The pizza delivery man finish on your pie because you stiffed him last time around, or run you over with his car?
Do I survive the car?
Yes, you do.
Am I like...
You're not permanently injured,
okay.
but it's a frightening experience.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll take the car.
You will?
Yeah.
I'll eat around it.
What if it's the guy that dates Kate Upton or Justin Verlander?
Oh, Verlander?
Yeah, good luck eating around that.
I hope it's a triple XL pizza.
Yeah.
Let me try and piece this together for you now. First off, I'll tell you this. The pizza man goes by the name of Zach. He's 30-some years old. Zach delivered a pie to a feller. Zachy pulls his vehicle up onto the customer's driveway, handed him the pie. The customer gave Zachy some monies, no sign of a tip. He gave him the exact price of that pizza pie. When Zach saw that he wasn't getting any extra monies, for the effort, he upped and called the pizza customer, quote, effing rude, he said. The customer fired back at Zachy with something cute. And next thing you know, the both of them started tossing insults back and forth. Right there in the middle of the driveway. At one point, Zach said to the customer, "What you gonna do, bitch?" "Come get me," he said.
It's dangerous.
The
Especially nowadays.
Yeah, I wouldn't play this game today.
No.
I wouldn't play this game.
It would have been safer 30 years ago.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't do that now.
"What you gonna do, bitch?" Zach, the pizza delivery guy, said. "Come get me." Well, the customer did not come get him. So Zach hopped into his whip. He slapped his vehicle into reverse, and he backed on up. And then quicker than piss, he threw her into drive, he gunned the engine, and rammed the dude who stuffed him on that pizza delivery tip money. Dude ended up on the hood.
Dude.
He's up on the hood.
What would you prefer, Nick, going back to your question?
Oh, getting run over by a car.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have to think about it, too. Outside of do I survive and am I permanently disabled?
Even if there's a chance I don't survive.
Yeah.
I'm not eating a semen and mushroom pizza.
I agree with you, Nick. Yeah. I don't have to survive. Because I'd want to be dead if I had to eat that pizza.
It was a stupid question. It really was. We all know the answer. The cheap pizza customer ends up on the hood of the car. Once he fell off the hood back onto the ground, Zach, the delivery dude, drove smooth out of there. The dude who got hit wasn't too badly torn up, a few scrapes and such. The police found Zach back at the pizza shop. He admitted to all of it.
I hope that means he realizes, like, that was so inappropriate. I can't believe I would respond that
From
way.
the looks,
Slight overreaction.
From the looks of Zach, I saw a picture of the dude. He doesn't look terribly regretful. He had his mugshot taken and everything. He said he was just trying to scare the guy.
Well, that would work.
And the whole works was caught on camera, by the way, somebody's doorbell camera or whatever. Zach's in jail right now. He's waiting for his turn at the neighborhood courthouse. He just said, F it. He hit the gas and ran the guy smooth over.
I used to be a pizza delivery man. I loved that job. That was fun.
It always seemed like a really, really fun job.
How long did you last? Was it like just a summer job?
No, well, kind of, because I did it pre-college when I went to Moorhead, and then I came back and did it during the summer. I'd say, with a couple breaks in between because of school, maybe 3 years.
My brother's
the old
friend.
Cheetah Pizza.
And you were never run over by a car?
Pizza.
Well, no, I was.
Or you never ran anybody over?
No, never even thought about it.
Yeah.
My brother's buddy was a pizza delivery driver, and it was awesome because whenever he would come over after his shift, he would just bring us a bunch of pizza, and then he would also bring us weed because he was also our weed dealer.
Oh, wow.
What a great combo.
Man.
It was awesome, dude.
You peaked early in life, Ashley.
I honestly, those were like the best couple of years of my life.
The only thing that was somewhat of a negative, even though pizza's my favorite food, I mean, that's not going out on a limb, I'm sure for a lot of people it is, but my car did always smell like pizza. Constantly. And so, if you're driving around with buddies or whatever, sometimes you'd be like, why do we always have to smell like mushrooms and semen?
Yeah, that's...
Or a girl. Oh, wait.
A girl?
Like if you're driving with a girl.
Oh.
Just reach
I thought you were saying...
Wishful thinking on my part.
Yeah,
but
because that happened to you all the time.
Of course.
I thought you were saying driving a car that smelled like a girl. Hey, this car smells...
That's what we smell like, mushrooms and semen.
Some of yous do.
I've always thought that, Ashley.
She's a keeper. Oh, yeah? What do you mean? Smells like a girl. What do you mean? Mushrooms and semen.
A girl.
Speaking of getting run over by cars, did any of yous ever work at the neighborhood car wash?
No.
Nope.
When I was a younger guy, I worked at the Soft Touch Car Wash in St. Cloud, Minnesota. And I was a full-timer. And you meet some characters when you're working full-time at the car wash in St. Cloud for $4.25 an hour. It was a little bit miserable, but the fun part for me was in the afternoon. In the morning, it was kind of boring, and, of course, you're surrounded by shady characters.
You were likely hungover.
Oh, yeah. I kind of kept to myself because the full-timers were pretty shady. In the afternoon, the part-timers would come in, and the part-timers included my twin brother and a couple other buddies. And when it's wicked cold outside and you pull your car into those fancy schmancy car washes, the steam and the this and that and the windows fog up. Sometimes it was difficult to pull that vehicle up to the car wash line because the windows fog up so badly you can't see what the hell you're doing. And one day, my brother was the drive the car up to the line guy. Me and one of my other buddies were the spray off the car guys. So my brother can't see dick all day long pulling these cars up to the line. He's battling to see. At one point or another, my buddy cuts in front of my brother as he's pulling the car up to the line, and my brother hit him so hard it tossed him up onto the windshield.
Oh, man.
I thought for sure both of his legs were broken. He was friggin' fine. He was fine. It was so much fun to watch. Anyway.
I bet that would be fun if they are completely okay, of course, to see somebody just get
it was a
smoked
riot
by a car.
I mean, I didn't know. My brother had no idea he was there. Just boom, boom.
Like a rag doll.
Little 5'3" drinking pal of ours is up on the windshield. You should have seen the owner of that car, the expression on their face.
Oh, I'm sure.
Was that fun working at a car wash? I mean, just the work itself? I always thought that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Like I said, full-time probably was a little much for me, but I had to do it. I needed money. But, yeah, a lot of it was fun. Folding the towels and doing the laundry was not fun. But spraying off the cars, pulling the cars up on the line, that was.
If you got a really dirty car in there, was it satisfying to just see like the dirt or mud kind of just run off?
That's what I would think.
Yeah,
it's funny you say that, but because it really was.
Yeah.
When you're running the spray gun, especially in the winter, when I could get all the ice to fall out the wheel wells, it was satisfying.
That's what I think. It would be cool. Like do something like that.
But there were some characters, I'm telling you. There were some dudes who I didn't even dare talk to. All right.
I was just thinking about some
God.
of the advantages of working at the pizza place. Being in charge of pizza was almost better than having cash because, like, all the restaurants around us would trade.
Oh, yeah.
And our boss was totally cool with it. He encouraged it. Mm-hmm. So we would, whatever you wanted that was in the area, they always wanted to trade.
I bet.
That was pretty cool.
That's how it is at the Minnesota State Fair. That was really awesome. When one of the years I worked there, I worked at a jerky booth, and it's still there. It's right. I think it's Smokin' Joe's jerky. I might be wrong, but it's right next to the kettle corn people.
Sure, I know exactly the spot up there by what's that popular
Giggles.
Giggles, yeah.
Yeah, and so we'd give them, some beef sticks, and they would give us the biggest bags possible of kettle corn. At one point, I brought 3 of those huge bags home with me. It was awesome.
Delicious.
Except I can't really eat it anymore because I overdid it.
Had too much of it?
Yeah, way too much.
A listener texted in, I forgot about this part of working at the car wash. Vacuuming out the cars sucked.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
And drying them. Hand drying them, that also sucked.
Getting in all those positions probably tough on your body.
That's why, as soon as I walked in, I was 20 years old, but as soon as I walked in, I took that sprayer gig or the pulling the cars up to the line gig. I would find that guy and say, "Oh, you're leaving, right?" You know what I mean? And "Oh, yeah, I'm done." And I'd take his job because I did hate vacuuming. I did hate drying. Anyway, the Stupid News Report has taken us all the way to Oregon here. Hell, I was just there last week. Did I tell you about my trip to Oregon?
You sure did.
Yeah, it sounded fun.
Awesome.
While I was there in Oregon, I had lunch with the orcas at SeaWorld, and I caught a live Padres game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're in Portland, might as well.
Portland. I'm trying to remember, because I was in San Diego.
Yeah. You went
and
up
I
to...
caught a Padres game, and I went to SeaWorld.
No, you went to Mount Hood. And you,
when I was in San Diego.
Yes, when you were in San Diego, you saw Cannon Beach, where they filmed the Goonies.
I'm getting concerned about my memory.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't go to.
No, I bet you're right. I bet you're right.
Anyways, in a town called Roseburg in Oregon, a lady made a hell of a scene at the orthodontist's office. She did. Josh, what's the difference between an orthodontist and a dentist? Do you know?
I don't.
No, I don't know either.
Isn't an orthodontist
I thought you were setting me up for a joke.
Oh, yeah, me too. I thought, yeah, no.
I was playing along with a joke.
The orthodontist does, like, braces and stuff like that.
Oh, no.
I thought for sure, Josh. Yeah, same here.
What?
I got a joke for you. What's the difference between an oral and a rectal thermometer?
Oh, don't.
The taste.
What do you get?
Dice told me that joke years ago.
What do you get when a dentist sharts?
Let's see here. I'd like to piece this together, but I can't. A cavity,
You're
something.
Hate it. No, that's a good guess.
Go ahead.
What do you get when a dentist sharts? Toot-paste.
Toot-paste?
Think about what a shart is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yuck. Yeah.
No, I got it. I do.
I told you you're going to hate it.
In a town called Roseburg in Oregon, a lady made a hell of a scene at the orthodontist's office. So hang on to something because this one cuts to the chase quick. This lady walks into the orthodontist's office. She slapped the piss out of a doctor. And then she showed some kids her genitals.
Oh. It'll liven up your day a little bit.
The gal's name is Sarah. She's 40. And really, that's about all I can tell you. Sarah walked in. She tuned up an unsuspecting orthodontist with a few firm slaps to the mush. She saw that there were some kids sitting in the waiting room. She showed the kids what she was packing downstairs with the back and the front. And then the police pulled up and took her away from there.
Well, now she's on the list.
You just made the list.
Psycho.
She showed the kids the front and the back. This is funny. Oh, this is real funny. It says here now there's a beer hall in Missouri called the Half-Ass Bar. Boy, I bet that place is a show. If it has anything in common with the Half-Ass Morning Show in Minneapolis, I bet that place sucks.
Yeah, disappointing.
The Half-Ass.
How did it last so long, people might say about that bar.
Right. Who were those two guys who can't find anything to do with their lives? The Half-Ass Bar in Missouri. Two women's down there. They're in trouble for supposedly stealing more than $3,500 from the Half-Ass Bar. Well, I guess that's where the comparison ends, because anyone in this room can tell you that the Half-Ass Morning Show certainly doesn't have $3,500.
Not even between us.
No.
So what did these gals do now at the Half-Ass? They stole monies out the safe. The quarter machine, don't you know, for playing pocket billiards and whatnot. That was snatched out the Half-Ass Bar. They tried to crack open the ATM machine. They couldn't quite get it done.
When you said quarter machine, I was picturing one of those things that Dana has a serious addiction to. Those ones that you put the quarter in and then it pushes quarters up.
Uh-huh. I should have said the change machine. Yeah, I know that stupid thing. I got a couple of buddies who will stare at that stupid game for 4 hours.
Dana and his wife are obsessed with it.
I don't get it.
Is that right?
I've tried to correct them. We'll sit at a bar in Wisconsin, and 2 or 3 of my buddies will finger bang that stupid quarters on a shelf machine for 4 hours.
It's just entertainment. I know I'm not going to win any money.
Can you explain it again? I've never seen one.
There's a perfectly good television in the corner, Dana. If you need entertainment, there's conversation with others. There's a television in the corner of the bar.
No, Ashley's seen me in action, and I just get addicted to it. So, Josh, what you do is you drop a quarter down, and this tray is moving back and forth, and it's full of quarters, and you try to land it so when it moves back, it shoves the quarters off the edge, and then you grab the quarters kind of like a slot machine out of the bottom.
And sometimes there's cute little things in there for, sorry, Dana, for the children usually. Like a little rubber duck, a dollar bill.
Oh, yeah, that's great. You spent 4 hours on your feet as opposed to sitting on a bar stool. You spent 4 hours on your feet, finger banging the quarter machine, and you won a pencil? Good for you.
Sometimes there's like a little $5 bar gift card or something.
Yeah.
Boy, you guys really don't want to talk to each other, do you?
No, we really love it. It's fun.
All right, here's the deal. I got to get back to this now. The 2 gals who robbed the Half-Assed Bar in Missouri. They got the change machine. They broke into the safe. They got the money in there. I feel ridiculous having to constantly say this with every story, but yes, this was all caught on video, recorded by security cameras, including the vehicle the two gals drove out of there. They got that on video. So here's the deal. It turns out one of the stupid gals was the daughter of the bar owners.
Inside job.
And the rumor is the gal decided to up and steal from her folks who run the bar because she's addicted to hard street drugs. The cops found meth rocks and fentanyl sticks on the gals when they were arrested. The friggin' drugs, man. Enough with the drugs, for Christ's sake. Whatever happened to beer?
It's just not enough for some folks, I guess.
Gosh, that's so sad.
Are drugs cheaper?
Some drugs, yeah.
I mean, I know you always hear cocaine's super expensive.
Yeah, like
I wonder if that's why. It's just less expensive.
Like the really crappy, yucky drugs like heroin and meth aren't that expensive.
Josh, I don't really think that most drug addicts are thrifty. I don't think that's...
I don't know. I mean, you hear people doing things for drugs, right? You know, instead of just spending the money, like they're in a rough spot.
I don't know. Drug addicts, I don't get it. We got to go. Can I get through this one? Oh, yeah. Might as well. Apparently, this really happened to a real person. Check this out. Just like we saw in the old Roadrunner Coyote cartoons from the 60s, some effing guy drove his car straight into a wall painted like a tunnel. I can't believe it. Drove his car, and it effed him up good. Can you imagine the shock, the disbelief? No. He thought he was driving his car into a tunnel. It was a wall painted to appear as a tunnel. Like the, what do you call it? The coyote and the
Roadrunner. That was always a funny bit. But yeah, in real life, I would never expect that to happen.
This happened in a place called Glasgow, Scotland. Social media dorks were pretty heartless when they caught wind of this, making all kinds of Looney Tunes jokes, saying things like, when the dude stepped out of his car after the crash, did an anvil fall directly onto his head? The embarrassed, confused driver had to be scooped up off the road and sent off to the hospital. It says here there's something out there called the Roadrunner test, where those silly self-driving cars are tested to see if they can tell the difference between a real tunnel opening and one that's painted on a wall. This is a way that they test some of these self-driving cars. Did I say self? Yes, self-driving cars. Did you know that, Josh?
That they did that?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I know they obviously test them out, but why would you ever be in that situation? I mean, I didn't know that ever existed in real life, a fake tunnel somewhere.
Yeah, me either. It just seems like an all-around bad idea.
I don't know. A couple years ago, a Tesla Model Y car, whatever that is, failed this test. It smashed into a painted-on tunnel opening. And then you got this poor bastard in Scotland. I mean, there's no way he had any idea what happened. There's no way. No way he said to himself, "Oh, for Christ's sake, I fell for the painted-on tunnel." No one would come up with that.
If that ever happens to me, don't tell me what happened.
Okay.
I don't want to know.
Keep it all a friggin' secret.
Oh, thank God I survived. What happened? It'd be worse. It'd be worse if I found out what I did.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Well, I'll tell you what. We got loads of time starting at 7:30 to talk about things like, well, what will happen with the Wolves and the Pigs this weekend? You got the answers to that, Cubby?
No.
What will happen with the...
I'll have to watch like everybody else.
Yeah, we'll have to watch. Wolves, Spurs, Game 3 tonight here in town. Pigs, Avs, Game 3 tomorrow night.
I would assume we'll see a different Wolves team this weekend, don't you think?
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to do that again.
If we get a repeat of Game 2, I mean, that would just be...
Just shut it down.
The Frizzost have a playoff game at home tonight. Jesus, everything's going on all at once. It's been a while since the Twins won a series. They lost yesterday in Washington, D.C. They start up a series tonight in Cleveland. And you know what they were doing down in St. James, Minnesota? I know a guy from St. James. He's a little different. But you know what they were doing yesterday, day before? Donkey basketball.
I'd love to be posterized by a donkey.
So fun.
Dunking right over me.
We don't happen to have video on our website of donkey basketball.
Did I send that to you, Ashley?
Yep, we do.
Check that out, everybody. They were raising money for the local paramedics and whatnot, trying to raise some money for some new fancy schmancy equipment for the local paramedics.
I love donkeys so much.
They're lovable characters.
The only one I've ever, had a relationship with, I guess you could call it that.
Was it in Tijuana?
It liked to be hugged. A donkey that liked to be hugged. It would come up to you and rest its head on your shoulder.
Donkeys love affection, Ashley.
So nice.
If you don't know what donkey basketball is, God help us, it'd be great if the donkeys could go out there on their own and play basketball.
Like Air Bud?
Sure. But these are live human beings on the backs of donkeys, and they dribble around. I don't know how the hell there's a gym anywhere that allowed this. Did they put anything on the feet of the because most high schools and whatnot are so paranoid over damaging the court and
they've got little basketball shoes on the top.
Donkeys and Air Jordans.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did they put sneakers on the?
Not that I saw.
But it was a lot of fun. See the videos on our website. Good for them down in St. James. That sounds like a lot of laughs. Ashley, I told you before. Maybe you forgot. I knew a guy that lived out in the middle of nowheres, and he had big longhorn steers, and he had chickens and goats and critters running everywhere, including a couple of donkeys. And whenever I'd visit this guy, I'm telling you right now, that donkey would come running to see me. We had a special kind of a thing happening with me and this donkey, and don't get cute with that. But she knew me from various visits, and she looked forward to seeing me. So when I would pull up the drive, she'd come running across. She'd be dodging those longhorn steers to come in, and then we would hug. You want to know what her name was?
Ooh, what?
Milkshake.
Oh,
that's pretty cute.
I love it.
We got to take a break. Josh's news is next.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
What's going on, podcast pimps? Dana here to once again sing the praises of standard heating and air conditioning. I got on the ball early. I already got my AC tuned up for summer, and I think you should too. An AC tune-up means better efficiency, fewer breakdowns, and peace of mind before we get choke slammed with heat. And right now, it's their early bird special. $45 off an AC tune-up or $90 and you add your furnace in as well. Smart folks like me don't wait for the first 80-degree day. We plan ahead. Book by May 25th and check it off your list at standardheating.com. Providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Years of hard work, and now you've got pain in your back, your shoulders, your knees, maybe your joints. You need help. Randy Shaver here with the answer. Dave Bialke. He's got over 30 years experience in getting workers' compensation benefits for people just like you. Don't suffer. Call Bialke Law today. 763-571-2410 or go to bialkelaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com. And it spells relief for you.
My name is Megan Klingenberg. I was a professional soccer player for over 10 years, and like most players, I gotta be honest, I have some baggage when it comes to referees. I wanted to know, who are these refs? What kind of person gives up their weekend to call fouls and hand out cards? Why do they do it? So this time on the U.S. Soccer Podcast, I'm going to referee camp. The U.S. Soccer Podcast presented by Henkel. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
They're going to do it at night. You're sleeping, and no one's going to sit up all night watching. Since then, I put a security system in.
Apparently, castrating cars for catalytic converters is getting too mainstream because St. Paul police are investigating a growing string of gas thefts. But thieves aren't pulling up to pumps. They're crawling under vehicles, drilling holes into gas tanks, and draining them dry.
Oh, God, it's not the time.
The crimes are happening overnight in several St. Paul neighborhoods where people just trying to go about their lives are left with significant repair bills. One resident said his Chevy Silverado was hit late at night about 2 weeks ago. He didn't realize anything was wrong until his truck suddenly died on the highway.
And all of a sudden, it went weird and it was slowing down, and I had just enough fumes to get off to the side.
After calling triple, do you think anybody remembers the Silverado clip we used to play? Probably not.
I'm sure there's a few who remember the Silverado. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it was a good bit.
That poor old gentleman.
I agree.
He sounds so sweet. Why would you ruin his day?
The guy was trying to go to a doctor's appointment.
Man.
I mean, speaking of Looney Tunes cartoons, that sounds like something you would have saw back in the day. Drilling holes in gas tanks and stealing the gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that Donald Duck and Wile E. Coyote would have done on a road trip or something.
I mean, gas is expensive, obviously. But is it to the level of where you're drilling into people's gas tanks?
No, it's just, Josh,
never.
it's just we are surrounded by so many aimless derelicts.
Selfish people.
We can barely cross the room.
opportunistic buttholes is what we're dealing with.
Dude.
After calling AAA, he learned the issue wasn't mechanical. It was maniacal. Just some menacing dorkwads stealing people's fuel.
Dorkwads.
Sorry for the language. It's just frustrating. A local automotive shop said they've seen several vehicles with the exact same issue. Someone drilled a hole into the gas tank and stole the fuel.
Boy, you dorkwad, you.
St. Paul police say they've received at least half dozen reports tied to such theft so far.
Who are you calling a dorkwad?
Well, I think they deserve it.
I saw a video online of somebody at a gas station. You start pumping the gas. You might go in for a snack or something. Some guy came up with his own gas can, took the nozzle out, and started filling it up in his gas can, and then ran away.
Oh, uh-oh. Yeah, I mean, they do tell you not to do that, I guess. But, I've definitely done it a couple times.
Proximity? What, you've started filling up and went in?
Yeah.
Hey, Josh, do you know how you can tell the porn star at the gas station?
How can you tell?
Right before he's done, he pulls the nozzle out of his car and sprays the gas all over the windshield.
I like that one. This is a reminder, kids. Never take candy from a stranger. You're taught that at a young age, especially if they're half naked. A 34-year-old partially undressed crackpot has been accused of forcing a minor to eat Gushers candy in a restaurant bathroom last month.
Forcing them? Dude.
Yes.
Eat.
Then following the boy and his friends to a nearby playground.
Eat the Gushers.
The disturbing incident, which resulted in a kidnapping charge,
Oh.
unfolded at the 99 restaurant in Boston, where a 13-year-old boy was with a group of friends. When he went into the bathroom, he had the rotten luck of encountering a 34-year-old man standing shirtless and clutching a box of Gushers candy.
Oh, boy.
If you've avoided the candy aisle for a while, Gushers are gummy candies filled with fruit-flavored liquid, like tiny edible water balloons.
I just had some of those. They're so good.
My wife loves them, too. The man told the kid to eat one. The youngster tried several times to move around him, but the Boston man stood in the Fenway and continued demanding the victim eat that candy. After being asked multiple times, the teen said he felt intimidated and was afraid of the large shirtless male. So he eventually accepted just one piece, ate it in front of the man as requested, and the man allowed him to leave the bathroom. The boy returned to his friends, and the group quickly left the restaurant and headed to a playground about a 10-minute walk away. But the nightmare didn't end there. Trouble was brewing for the Boston man, who followed the group onto the playground.
The Gusher dude was there too?
Yeah, he kept going after him.
Oh, no.
The boy who ate the candy was taken to Boston Children's Hospital for evaluation, where I became a donor, by the way.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
You saved that kid's life.
Maybe it had something to do with it. Thankfully, his drug screen came back negative. It was just candy, turns out. Thankfully. Weird. Authorities later discovered the man had a significant criminal history with records in Georgia, New York, Virginia, and North Carolina. And in the days leading up to the incident with the 13-year-old, he filled it with so much Boston action you could Celtics. In one incident, he pushed a concierge, or punched that is, in the head at a Hyatt hotel after the hotel employee asked him to leave for lingering nearby to watch kids playing.
He's a lingerer.
And he was holding a child's toy at the time.
That's a dangerous man.
What, he sounds a little iffy to you?
Yeah.
He should be watched, certainly.
Maybe locked in somewhere.
Here's a random Boston fact. Boston was the first U.S. city to have a public school system.
Well, F me.
Doesn't show.
Bogus.
You don't think so?
I've always wanted to go to Boston.
Oh,
it's a good
great.
town.
Yep, you'd love it. Did you guys ever hear about the kidnapping at school?
Tell me about it.
It's okay, the bell woke him up. It seems customer service standards in the criminal underworld have really gone downhill because after an undercover officer canceled a meetup, a Minneapolis Public Schools employee allegedly running a prostitution business on the side threatened the officer with blackmail. According to a criminal complaint, the employee at Anderson United Middle School allegedly posted online ads between February and late last month promoting sex workers operating out of a South Minneapolis residence. About a week ago, an undercover agent working with a joint task force involving the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension and the Minnesota Human Trafficking Investigators Task Force responded to 3 separate ads. Each time, the agent was directed to the same Minneapolis address. But in every case, the agent canceled the encounter and soon afterward received text messages threatening blackmail unless a $50 cancellation fee was paid.
When those agents didn't show up to meet the women, used threats to try to get them to pay a cancellation fee. At one point saying, only question is if I'm going to involve your work or family.
I never would have thought you'd have to pay a cancellation fee for a prostitute. One of the Cash App handles allegedly tied to the scheme included the criminal mastermind's real last name, a detail investigators probably appreciated. Authorities also linked the suspect to a Craigslist ad recruiting people for a spa modeling gig at a residence in Hopkins.
I've always wanted to be a spa model.
Why, you could easily do it.
Yeah?
You've got the looks, the physique, everything.
The physique.
Yeah. In one especially unusual detail, court documents say school officials initially didn't assist investigators in locating the alleged pimp when he was arrested at the school. The documents also state school officials warned the man that human trafficking investigators were at the school before agents were escorted to the gym finally for the arrest. In a statement, a Minneapolis Public Schools spokesperson said the district is following all applicable processes and procedures in the case and that appropriate action will be taken.
That's what I'd get, Josh, if I was ever a spa model. I'd get some appropriate action out of that.
Oh, I bet. I bet that's part of the gig, but yeah, you'd be one of the champs.
Yes.
From high-octane action and offbeat mysteries to a live comedy event that'll likely bombard you with short jokes, here's what's new this week in theaters and streaming. First on the big screen, Mortal Kombat 2 fights for a flawless victory at the box office. Fan favorite champions return, including Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, and face off in a brutal showdown in the ultimate battle to save the Earth realm. Really enjoyed the first one, and if I'm to believe critics, I will not enjoy the second one.
Hot darn.
If you're a fan of wholesome family comedies, this next new movie is a sheer thing. Featuring a stacked voice cast, including Bryan Cranston, Hugh Jackman, Emma Thompson, Patrick Stewart, and Brett Goldstein, as well as Julia Louis-Dreyfus, The Sheep Detectives, a quirky twist on a murder mystery. When a shepherd who reads nightly whodunits to his flock turns up dead, the sheep take it upon themselves to be the first to solve the case, even bleeding the detectives. For fans of awesome music, Iron Maiden's long-awaited big-screen documentary, Burning Ambition, was released earlier this week. The new film takes fans through 5 decades of one of the biggest bands in history. The Iron Maiden Run for Your Lives World Tour with Megadeth comes to town September 19th at Mystic Lake Amphitheater.
Where can I see this movie? I know...
In theaters.
What? Like at my neighborhood theater?
Yeah, I don't know how many are carrying it, but yeah, it's a decently sized release.
A few of my friends went and saw some sneak preview maybe a month ago here in town, and I wasn't able to go. Well, I got to look this up.
Did they like it?
They didn't get back to me on it.
Okay.
I didn't ask. I kind of forgot about it. Will they allow me to wear my sunglasses in the movie theater? Because this is going to make me cry.
Oh, I've seen people with them on to look cool. Some of those premieres.
There's something about Iron Maiden that I'll remember till the day that I die. Remember, I don't know, maybe 8-10 years ago, Josh, they were on the Legacy of the Beast tour. We were at that show together, were we not?
Yep.
And they started with Aces High, with the airplane in the background hanging from the back of the stage. And as they hit that last note on Aces High, Bruce Dickinson said, "St. Paul, welcome to the Legacy of the Beast."
That's cold.
My wife doesn't even like that style of music, but she loved that concert.
Do you remember when he said that?
I do. And Bruce Dickinson...
Chill went right up and down my spine.
I remember watching him on stage going, the dude's like a decade older than me. How does he run around like that and sing and still sound great? He's got
not
all that
human.
energy. No, he's not.
Human.
He's not. That's why they are what they are. Streaming live on Netflix Sunday from the Kia Forum in California, The Roast of Kevin Hart, hosted by Shane Gillis. The event closes out the Netflix is a Joke Fest. Also on Netflix, this sounds like a weird one, Remarkably Bright Creatures, starring Sally Field as a widow who bonds with a giant Pacific octopus at an aquarium where she works. It's narrated by Alfred Molina as the voice of the octopus trying to heal the widow's heart. Remarkably Bright Creatures.
Sally Field.
Yeah, I haven't... Is she doing a lot of stuff lately, or I don't know. I guess I haven't heard of.
I have to be. I got to tell you, Cubby, right now. I got to go ahead and do it. I thought she was dead.
No, she's very much alive.
I saw her the other day on my television, alongside Burt Reynolds in one of my favorite Burt Reynolds movies called Hooper.
Oh, I remember Hooper.
Never heard of it.
Where, well, of course you haven't. It was 1980. You were, what, negative? What were you in 1980?
1980, negative 17.
Holy balls.
Yeah.
Why would you say something so hurtful to me?
I'm sorry.
Burt Reynolds plays a stuntman. Jan Michael Vincent also plays a stuntman. Sally Field plays Burt's wife. What was the name of the actor who played Roscoe P. Coltrane on Dukes of Hazzard? He plays Hooper. Check it out.
Hooper. All right,
I mean, not right now.
No,
yeah.
I started to watch it.
Got to load it up.
I got to the opening credits.
Man, he wore some bad wigs, Burt Reynolds. He's got a bad wig on in Hooper.
In Hooper?
Yeah.
And now on HBO Max, the streaming premiere of Greenland 2 Migration.
Oh, you know who else stars in the movie Hooper? Again, 1980, Burt Reynolds. Adam West.
Oh, really?
You know who he plays?
In Hooper?
Yeah.
No.
Adam West.
Oh, he's himself.
He is as his damn self.
Yeah, no Batman showing up in anything like that?
I don't.
That be something?
No, he didn't.
Wouldn't that be something? There's some new music hitting your speakers this week, straight from 93X's latest notable new releases post. Black Veil Brides channel their signature blend of theatrical hard rock and modern metal into their 7th studio album, Vindicate.
Yeah, I used to absolutely love them. I didn't know they were still making music.
I figured that was a band you'd love.
Oh,
Seems
yeah.
like you're into that.
They're on the Hooper soundtrack.
Are they really?
What?
Bad wigs in that band.
Wow.
It stops at the Fillmore in Minneapolis on the 21st. And Social Distortion is releasing their 8th studio album today, Born to Kill. Their first new music in 15 years.
My God, they still got that same singer. What was his name? Mike
Ness. Yeah, as a matter of fact, he had to take a few years off for cancer, but luckily everything was a success, and he's back in the band.
By the way, Josh, Roscoe P. Coltrane was played by an actor who is now gone, along with Burt Reynolds and Jan Michael Vincent. What about Adam West? Is he still alive?
I don't believe so.
Roscoe P. Coltrane was played by an actor by the name of James Best. Thank you, Weld QC Jesus, for answering that question.
I don't think I've ever even heard that.
James Best.
Adam West.
He checked on 2017.
2017.
I said that really, really awkwardly, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I regret that.
It's fine. It's fine. You're a little drunk this morning.
Yeah, got the weekend going early.
Army Mailman Jesus texts a shout-out to the students at West Tonka High School. He's going to be DJing their prom tomorrow night.
Ooh, a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Who is DJing a prom tomorrow night?
Army Mailman Jesus.
Really?
Yeah. He's going to be on, what do they call him? The ones and the twos.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Good luck, man. I wouldn't know what songs to play nowadays.
I'd be terrified.
No. I had no clue.
Can you imagine being planted in that spot out of nowheres? At your age, Josh, at my age.
Oh, I'd be in so much trouble.
I'd be like, do the kids still like the Little River Band or what? I mean, I have no idea. They would throw their feces at me.
Yeah. I mean, unless maybe they could say, oh, that's so cool. It's retro. He must be doing this on purpose.
Have you heard about the lonesome loser? He's a loser, but he still keeps on trying.
I'll just play the Rad soundtrack. Not a bad song on there. Okay, there's a couple of bad songs on. Want to be a stay-at-home dog dad, Jesus? Text a happy 31st to his cougar girlfriend, Taylor. Happy 29th on Sunday to Tanker, Jesus. Happy birthday shout-out to Edward the Great from I Throw Dodgeballs at Kids for a Living, Jesus. Happy birthday to our program director and sometimes on-air guest, Derek, tomorrow. Good luck to Deadhead having surgery this morning at the VA hospital. You'll come out of it just fine, broski.
Hey, Josh.
What?
Back to planting a 50-year-old behind a DJ booth for a modern prom.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you play? Knowing nothing about today's music. 61, how do you say this? 651 to 715, Jesus. He has an idea as to what you play for the teenage kids at the prom. White Lion, because that will prevent teen pregnancy. They won't want to come anywhere near each other. They'll be so disgusted by the music.
Screw you, buddy.
You're not getting any unplanned pregnancies
you wouldn't
out of
say that to Vito Brada's face. Happy birthday to Miles, turning the big 07 today, and going to kick some butt for track and field today, too. From Dad, book collector Jesus, and that's 93X News.
Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder. on the Half-Ass Morning Show.
Number 81, Joe Sensor.
Mind-boggling problems for opposing defenders.
9:05 left to go in the third. Pressure screen. Sensor, the tight end, has it. He can score. Does he go in? Yes, he does. From 31 yards out, Joe Sensor. That is his 5th touchdown of the year.
Kramer now going over the middle. Touchdown to Joe Sensor, the tight end. Joe Sensor really did a super job of cruising away from the flow of the play. Kramer out of the backfield of the tight end. Sensor. Touchdown, Joe Sensor. What a nice play. Kramer hitting Sensor, and the Vikings have scored on 2 consecutive drives.
Well, isn't that something as we welcome in Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder here on this glorious Friday morning on the Half-Ass Morning Show. Joe Sensor has died at 69 years old, the former Viking tight end Joe Sensor. Randy Shaver, were the two of you familiar with each other?
Joe Sensor and I did K-Fan Radio back in the early days together. We had a show together for about a little over a year.
Yeah.
That was sandwiched between Dave Huffman and Michelle Tafoya, actually.
I'll be damned.
And so Joe and I were on every morning for 3 hours, talking sports and everything else. It just just a wonderful guy. Always upbeat, always had a smile, funny guy. Just one of those people that he was a perfect ambassador for the Vikings. He loved the Vikings. And I said this yesterday, he's the prototypical basketball player to become a tight end in the NFL. He was the first guy to really do that because Joe was a basketball player in college,
right,
at Westchester. And the Vikings took a chance on him. They drafted him in the 6th round in 1979, and he just became this if it wasn't for the knee injuries he had in the early 80s that shortened his career a lot, he would have been one of the best tight ends to ever play for the Vikings. And I would argue he is in that group. He's the only tight end for the Vikings to ever have a 1,000-yard season. Think about that. Steve Jordan's been here. Kyle Rudolph's been here.
Wow.
Joe Sensor's the only Vikings tight end to ever have a 1,000-yard season.
I wasn't aware of that. If you would have asked me that trivia question, I certainly would have guessed Steve Jordan.
Yeah, I would have.
Steve Jordan was the perfect tight end.
Well, Steve Jordan replaced Joe.
Yeah.
When Joe was hurt, they drafted Steve Jordan, and he kind of took over for Joe. But
you're absolutely right. If Joe Sensor doesn't hurt his knee, there's not a doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
He could have been like a Dwight Clark, Russ Francis. A lot of folks don't remember Russ Francis, but he was a top tight end in the 80s. He could have been like an Ozzie Newsome, no question about it.
Well, he was when he was healthy.
Yeah. We're talking long term. He could have gone down in history in the same sentence as.
I agree 100%. He just had all the skills. I mean, he was a basketball player, so he had this agility, this ability to move, and he had big hands. He had and soft hands. Very, just a very, very good player. He had to learn how to block in the NFL. That was probably one of the things that didn't come naturally to him, but he certainly had the skill level to be one of the top tight ends. So.
Joe Sensor's passed away at 69 years old. I was unaware, or maybe I had forgotten, that around 10 years ago he had a terrible stroke.
Yeah, his last 10, 12 years of his life were difficult. His wife went through all the legal stuff of that unfortunate situation with 2011, 2012, she was convicted in a hit-and-run crash.
Yeah.
And, that took a toll on Joe. And, did just a lot of things near the end of his life that were difficult. But, I read Greg Coleman's, had a couple of quotes yesterday and talked about the last few years of Joe's life and still how Joe just, always just had that great spirit, even though life had kind of dealt him some tough blows. Near the end.
Mm-hmm.
He and Greg Coleman were really good friends.
Well, that's sad to hear. And I'm sure every damn last one of us went into his sports bar and had a beer or two.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure. For sure.
Lived right by one. Yeah.
For sure.
When I was an intern at KFAN in 2006, I worked with Joe quite a bit on some shows, and he was always, I was an intern, unpaid college kid. He was always so nice to me. He'd treat me like I was one of the crew, would ask about how my classes were going. When he found out that I went to the Roseville Sensors a lot with my buddies to watch NFL, he'd always kind of wink and, slide me a gift card and stuff like that. He was just such a cool dude.
I want to say that Brad Ryder and I went to lunch at the Roseville Sensors, probably near the end of the road, of it being Sensors, right, Brad?
Yeah,
right.
I'm here now. Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember what year that was, Randy, but we did. Yeah.
I mean, you just said Sensors, and everybody knew where it was.
Right? Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, it was around for such a long time, and he had couple of locations, and Joe was just very philanthropic in the community. He just was a great guy. He loved the Vikings. Was a fabulous ambassador for the Vikings, and he did play-by-play or did color on the Vikings radio network for a few. About 6-7 years. And he just did a lot of things that, he retired at 28. Think about that. I mean, what do you do when back in those days, in 1984, 85, you retire at 28.
Most of them went off and sold cars.
Yeah. You had to go do something.
Yeah.
And he made the most of it.
In that era, a lot of them went off and sold cars.
Well, that's an example of a guy, obviously, and you've talked about it, who, if he would have retired at 28 and moved out of the community, I hate to say it, but, we probably would talk about this for 10 seconds. But he became a part of the community, a part of the radio broadcast, like I said, restaurants and stuff, and people know him more for that almost than what he did on the football field.
And I also think that his personality and his ability to, for people to, he's just very likable. That also lent his, helped him become what he was in the community as far as, with the restaurants. I mean, if he would have been a grumpy, player who didn't like anybody and, was kind of a dick, it never would have happened for him.
No, you got to have
but that's not who he was.
Right.
So.
You got to have a personality. You got to be a likable person if you're going to put your name on a bar, for Christ's sake,
Makes me very sad. He was a really good guy.
Because I'll tell you, I'm not walking into Chris Carter's bar.
If I am, my fists are clenched.
Yeah.
Or Luka Doncic's bar.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah.
Brad Ryder, I'm going nowhere near the Baby Nuts Bar and Grill. Well, to the friends and family of Joe Sensor, including yourself, Randy Shaver, condolences. That's tough, especially a guy. He's still 69. He was 69. He's pretty young.
Yeah, it is. And, some of those guys like Tommy Kramer and Greg Coleman and Scott Studwell, those guys are still around, and they're, it's just one less former Viking in our community now. And it's just, it's sad. We are so lucky in this community to have these former players who are around among us, who, the Tony Olivas, the Justin Mornos, the Joe Mauers, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
We're so lucky to have these guys still around.
I got a couple more great examples for you.
Carl Eller, guys like that just, you just got to cherish those guys, because that's at least for me, that's the era I grew up in. And
absolutely
something special about it.
Quick little note. When I was with the Timberwolves, one of the things that we tried to do, and we were, I can't think of another way to describe it. I mean, as an organization, we were so jealous of the Twins and the Vikings, and even to a degree the Wild, because they had so many of these former players in the community doing these things. And we tried to kind of get something like that started, but there really, within the Timberwolves franchise, there really isn't a lot of former players who stay in the community. And so that was one thing we always, like I said, kind of under the radar a little bit. We were a little bit jealous of those organizations because they had all those players, like you mentioned, Randy, staying in the community, doing things, and that just helps the profile and the persona of those organizations when those guys stay in the community and do those things.
For sure.
You want to talk about, great players, great personalities.
I'm sorry. That's why getting Kevin Garnett back is such a big deal for the Timberwolves.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes.
These great players with great personalities who stuck around after their playing days so we can meet them at a bar some night and hear the stories and tell them how big of a fan we are or were. I got some more names for you. Tom Reed, Lou Nanny, Darryl Thompson.
Yes.
Yep.
Brian Bellows, Mike Modano. Guys like that. It's great. You're right. It is unique, I think. I think a lot of times when guys retire, they go back home. A lot of guys who played in Minnesota stayed here. Now, we missed this yesterday. Ted Turner checked out. You want to talk about a guy who was involved in some pretty interesting things in his life as far as sports goes.
Right.
Turned the Atlanta Braves into a national team by putting them on TBS.
Yep.
And he was involved, of course, in the legendary Monday night television wrestling wars between his company, WCW, going up against Vincent Kennedy McMahon's outfit, the WWE. He died a couple of days ago at, I think, 87 years old.
Yeah.
And
beyond sports, I mean, he founded CNN. That's a pretty big deal.
Well, I didn't even know that. Because a lot of you know that there was a time when sports weren't as easily accessible as they are now. Watching an out-of-town baseball team during the regular season was rare, like the Atlanta Braves on TBS or the Chicago Cubs on WGN, which started up in the late 70s.
Right.
Until then, if you were here in the Twin Cities and you wanted to watch the Atlanta Braves or the Chicago Cubs or any other National League team, you had to wait for the All-Star break. You had to watch This Week in Baseball. Maybe there was a national game on Monday night or something like that, but they changed all that. And you know what was really funny about the Cubs and the Braves in the 80s, even though you could watch any of their effing games on WGN or TBS, they both sucked. They really did. The Cubs when the Cubs had a couple, 84, they went to the NLCS.
Right.
The Braves had a little sniff at some success with Dale Murphy and some other players like that. But yeah, the Cubs and Braves mostly sucked, but during the 80s, and here they were featured on cable television. But you got to see players and teams you didn't normally. And WCW became a big deal in the 90s.
Huge.
All over television. The Monday Night Wars with WWF, it was a riot.
It changed wrestling forever.
It was. The ratings showdown absolutely changed television wrestling forever. Both sides went all out trying to one-up each other to prove who was the superior brand. If Mick Foley jumped off a bridge on WWE Raw, that meant that Jeff Jarrett was going to get fired out of a cannon on WCW. It was just bananas.
Yeah, right. Competition brings out the best.
And Ted Turner was the guy behind a lot of it. I mean, I'm not saying he was the idea guy, but his name was connected to.
I saw a joke on Twitter that said Ted Turner's funeral scheduled for 7:05. And that's a reference to all TBS. They had their show start at 5 minutes after the hour.
Right.
And the logic was that if you just finish a show on TBS, all the other shows have started, so you miss the start of it, so you're going to stick with it. Or if you started a show and you didn't like it and you started channel surfing, you could catch a show that just started at 7:05 on TBS. That was his logic behind it.
Mm-hmm. Just another point of the teams in town. Dave St. Peter, the former president for the Twins, needs to get a lot of credit for the Twins and their alumni and keeping those guys here. I think fans appreciate that the local teams have these guys as part of their ambassadorship and their community work and that kind of thing. And it's not because, at least from my perspective, it's not because those teams see that as a financial possibility or a gain. I think those franchises actually appreciate those guys. And I think fans appreciate the fact that those franchises, care about those guys. I think there's a connection between those teams, the fans, and those alumni players that I think is pretty special. And it makes for living here and being a sports fan just a little bit more special because of just the relationships that are out there. So.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, this is awful nice. Someone texted in to thank me for sticking around town after retiring from my 1,000-point beer league hockey career.
You made a home here, didn't you?
I'll never forget when the referee picked up the puck and gave it to me on my 1,000th point.
Emotional night. Packed barn that night?
I mean, it was. The arena?
Yeah.
No, there was just a couple of wives. There was a dog in the stands.
Oh, wow.
It was like a stray dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No one. I wanted to pet it. I was afraid to pet it. What's a stray dog doing in a hockey arena? All right. What will happen? Josh, I thought he would have the answers. He says he doesn't know. What will happen with the Wolves and the Pigs this weekend?
Ooh.
Cubby says he ain't got the answer.
Well, the only thing I said is I don't think we're going to see the same Wolves team, whatever Wolves team that was in Game 2 there.
Yeah, I would be surprised if they were that bad.
No, I can't
Ever
imagine.
again. I mean, really, ever again.
Yeah.
They got that out of their system.
Yep.
Game 2 was one of the worst performances by a Timberwolves team that I've ever seen.
I suppose it's safe to say we'll see a lot of goals in the Wild game.
Probably.
Most likely won't be a low-scoring game.
I think when we come back on Monday, the Wolves series will be tied 2-2.
There you go.
And I think the Wild series will be 2-1. I think the Wild will win, and I think the Wolves will split these two games this week.
I like your style, Brad Ryder.
Well,
I'd be cool with that.
If San Antonio can survive the first 5 minutes of the craziness that's going to be at Target Center, then I think they've got a chance to win tonight. But I would really think the Wolves win tonight, and Game 4 could be a toss-up.
It should be a crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy there tonight.
8:30, plenty of time to get your beer drinking in.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
At least it's Friday.
It's going to be just all-out nuts.
That crowd's going to be disgusting.
And if KG shows up, oh, man, they might storm the court.
See, I heard that Kevin Garnett will not be there tonight, but they are going to lower Luke Ridnour from the...
I hope so.
They're going to lower Luke Ridnour and, strangely enough, Luke Longley.
Oh, my God.
Are going to be lowered from the scoreboard to hype up the crowd.
Ridnour is going to be on Longley's shoulders as they get lowered down.
Now you know why we were jealous of all the other franchises in town having the alumni back, because it's like, who do we go to?
I was going to ask that, Brad. Like, who would have been the big get?
I'll tell you.
I mean, those were some interesting meetings to be in. I will just tell you that. Like, okay, who do we reach out to now?
If the Wolves ever
Shane
have
Heel. Let's get Shane Heel.
Shane Heel, he was Australian. He was actually, what's your name again? Brad Ryder.
Yeah.
The first radio show I was ever involved in, our regular Timberwolves guest was Shane Heel.
Oh, wow.
That's a true story. Little Australian point guard. He went nowhere.
Right, yeah.
He was the only guy on the roster willing to talk to our radio show. And we thought it was cute because he had an Australian accent and all that.
Brad, you could have brought Randy Brewer back all the time.
Here we go again.
Yeah, I mean, we did. I mean, there were a few of those guys we tried bringing back. But
name me an old Timberwolf. I'll give you his jersey number. Go.
Tony Campbell.
19.
We brought Tony Campbell back one year, and he wanted to be more of a part of the organization.
Doug West.
5.
Doug West.
Yeah.
Does anybody have Anthony Peeler's cell phone number?
1.
See, that's part of the problem is some of those guys, everybody recognizes, but you don't necessarily want them as a part of your community. Latrell
Freddie Hoiberg.
Yeah.
32.
He's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
There's only one
but then
guy.
when he becomes the head coach of another team, it's kind of hard to get him back. But
when
Sam Mitchell.
42. The next time... That's just what I was going to say. If there's ever an alumni party for the Timberwolves, there's only one guy that's got to show up to make me happy, and that's Sam F. Me Running Mitchell.
Oh, one of the best.
I love.
He He was one of the 75 head coaches in my 6 years there that I worked under, but he's great.
Sam Mitchell.
Yep.
Tom Gugliotta, 24. Wally Zerbiak, 10. Rasho Nesterovic, 8.
I really wish they would have found a way. Jim Peterson's awesome. He's great. But wouldn't it have been great if Sam Mitchell could have also stuck around in town to be an analyst for Wolves basketball?
Yeah.
Even if it was on the pregame, postgame show, he would have been so damn good. Oh, my God.
We had Sam Mitchell on the air many years ago. And somehow I think we were on the topic of a player who had gotten himself in trouble. We started talking about some. And so we asked Sam, we said, you played in the NBA for a long time. I don't ever remember hearing anything about Sam Mitchell getting in trouble. Why? I said, you had the money, you had the fame. Why didn't you get in any trouble? And Sam Mitchell said it was an easy question to answer. He said, straight up, I always knew that if I effed around too much, my mama would whoop my ass. He always respected his mother enough to behave.
Well, good.
I always wonder what would have happened. I mean, he took over the year when Flip passed away, so he was our head coach that year, and I was there then. I always wonder what would have happened if we would have given him a few more years, because we let him go and then brought in Tibbs, which at the time a lot of people thought was a home run type of a hired deal, but Sam was NBA Coach of the Year with Toronto a couple of years before that. I mean, it's not like he couldn't coach.
I was upset, too, when Sam didn't stick around too long. Listeners are texting in Felton Spencer, 50, Nikola Pekovic, 14, Pooh Richardson, 24, Cherokee Parks, 44.
Kevin Garnett.
Oh, my God.
Good luck coming up with that one.
Yeah.
Really testing you here.
He's like a little redheaded point guard?
Yeah,
No.
The Frizzost have a home game tonight, too. And by the way, Josh and I got an email or a telephone call the other day from the Minneapolis Downtown Council. And first off, we thought we were in trouble.
They finally caught up to us.
Were they watching when I took a piss in an alley 10 years ago when we were drinking at, where were we, at Roy Smalley's bar? I took a piss in the alley. I thought, oh, no, I'm going to get a ticket for that when we were at Roy Small. No, they just wanted to give us a heads up with all these games going on over the weekend. Timberwolves Spurs tonight. The Lynx season opener. Oh, Saturday's the Lynx season opener.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Sunday, Wolves Spurs again. They say, bring your ass downtown because they're having all kinds of parties.
Yeah, it sounds like the place to be.
The slam dunk party for basketball fans, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Minneapolis.
And the weather's going to cooperate.
Yeah, no kidding.
Great.
They're calling it let's catch up with downtown and see what the hell's going on down there and support the local bars and restaurants. So if you want any more details, you can look them up, MinneapolisDowntown.com. There'll be some beer parties.
Definitely. I was downtown before a Wolves game with some friends who were going to it a couple Saturdays ago, and we were at this bar called Mackenzie's.
Oh.
And it was half Wolves fans, and then I was starting to notice a bunch of people in, like, cloaks and robes. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Harry Potter was showing next door. They had a Harry Potter play. So it was an interesting, split between Hoops fans and Harry Potter fans in that bar that night.
I love that kind of thing where there's a bunch of sports fans and then there's a cosplay convention going on as well.
I was in Denver once for a U.S. soccer game, and Metallica was playing at where the Giants played. So it was half U.S. soccer fans, half Metallica fans. I was in the elevator, guys, all dressed in black, and I said, who do you guys think? You guys going to the game? Who do you think is going to win tonight? And they're all just decked out in Metallica stuff, and it was fun.
You misread that situation.
Yeah, I was just joking. It was all fun. It was fun to see everybody excited for something.
It's probably a good thing the Twins are out of town this weekend, to be honest with you.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh, God, crowds would be dead.
I remember going to a Wild game a number of years ago, late afternoon game, like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. And we're walking inside the building, which, of course, is connected to Dominique Wilkins Auditorium. Some people call it Roy Wilkins. I always called it Dominique Wilkins because of all the legendary games that he played there. My buddy and I are walking into the hockey rink. We cross in front of the gates of Dominique Wilkins Auditorium, and there's all these kids like laying on the floor waiting for the doors to be open for the show that night, and they're all wearing long, oversized black T-shirts and the big black oversized pants, and they had face makeup on. And I said to my buddy, "What the hell is this?" And we saw the sign. It said, Insane Clown Posse.
Oh, the Juggalos were there.
Tonight in concert, Insane Clown Posse. I had no idea what that was. It was kind of the contrast, like you were describing. There were dorks walking around with their Marion Gaborik jerseys, right, into the hockey game, and the Insane Clown Posse crowd in the mix. I later learned about them through, again, back to Ted Turner, WCW Wrestling.
Right.
They became a regular.
Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J.
Word.
And the funny thing is that night, the ICP fans were probably looking at the Wild fans. What a bunch of dorks. and the Wild fans are looking at the guys with face paint on. What a bunch of losers.
People are texting in old Timberwolves, Chuck Person, 45, J.R. Ryder, 34, Andre Karolinko, 47. You see, you should be able to remember that Andre Karolinko wore jersey number 47 because his nickname was AK-47. Who else are they throwing my way? Malik Sealy, 2. That's an easy one. Medical Device Jesus thinks he's got me with Lance Stevenson.
Oh.
Now,
he's here for a very short period of time.
He'll get back to me, I'm sure, if I'm wrong, but Lance Stevenson, I believe, wore number 7 for the Timberwolves. Get back to me on that.
I thought he was number 1.
I could be wrong, but I'm picturing a 7. Okay, so let's talk about the Pigs here for a while because they got that big game tomorrow night, Game 3. Now, this is the story I'm getting from a couple of reporters who are in the locker room all the time. And they say that both Jesper Wallstedt and Philippe Gustafsson are both acting like dicks over their current situation.
Ooh.
They're saying that what the Pigs have right now is 2 pissed-off goaltenders. They're both feeling very slighted by their playing time or lack thereof.
I can see Gustafsson feeling that way. I'm not so sure I could see Wallstedt feeling like that.
Well, they're athletes. There's egos involved and all that. What's funny is a buddy of mine who works at a local golf course said just yesterday or the day before, Gustafsson and Wallstedt were golfing together. So it doesn't sound like there's static between the two of them, but they're both maybe directing a little static at the coaching staff and general manager for not making them the number 1 goalie, whatever. It happens. These guys are competitors. It is a little concerning that, at least according to these writers, Michael Russo and Joe Smith, who I'm sure are excellent at what they do, it's a little concerning that the reporters aren't telling us that they're thinking of the team. You know what I mean? They're painting the two of them out to be very selfish in this situation. I would think that either of these goalies would say, hey, I don't care if I play or not. We just want to win.
Right.
It sounds a little more self-centered than that. As a matter of fact, Gustafsson was described here in this story as being mopey.
Well, it's not the... Didn't this kind of happen a couple of years ago when the Wild had 2 goalies?
Sure, Cam Talbot.
Yeah, we had that kind of same situation.
Again, whether it...
In some ways, I don't mind it because I think that they both, like you said, they both want to play and they're both being competitors as long as they don't take it out on each other. I think, it's healthy in a way.
Sure, it's normal.
Yeah, I think they're going to go back to Wallstedt, I think, tomorrow.
Jiu-Jitsu Jesus says both the goalies need a BJ. Calm down.
Oh, God.
Taj Gibson, 67, Ricky Davis, 31. Get back to me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain.
No, Ricky Davis was 31. I remember that.
Will Avery, was he a number 1? That's a tough one. Will Avery. He didn't spend a lot of time here. What else with the hockey now? As long as it doesn't bleed onto the ice, let these guys piss and moan and bitch and fuss in the locker room. It's normal.
Yeah. All that's forgotten once you get going and the game starts.
I am Groot, Jesus said. When did hockey goalies become NFL wide receivers?
Well, goalies I've always been a little weird.
You know what, Dana? Maybe I'll end up sleeping with old goalies, the way things are.
You never know. Times are tough around here.
That is funny. When did goalies become wide? Because the biggest pains in the ass on any National Football League club is the wide receivers. They are never happy.
And we just added another one. We added Juwan Jennings.
Never heard of him.
Always hurt Juwan Jennings.
Oh.
Always hurt? Is that his nickname?
Well,
I like that.
Let's see. He's battled through rib, ankle, shoulder issues for a chunk of last season. His production has been up and down because he's battled injuries.
Back to
Vikings third receiver.
Okay. What? Thielen's not available? Anyway.
No.
Back to the hockey goalies. Back to Wallstedt and Gustafsson. Good point. Someone texted in and said, what do you expect from a couple of friggin' Swedes?
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Always starting trouble. Always got to be the loudest guy in the room, the friggin' Swedes. Oh, God. Oliver Miller, 2. Terrell Brandon, 7. Ryan Gomes, 8.
Martell Webster.
Ryan Gomes, I forgot we had him.
Martell Webster, I have nothing. I mean, I remember him.
Mm-hmm. Number 5.
Was he 5?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. They like to believe that he could shoot the three-pointer.
He could, occasionally.
Yeah. All right, so we heard the other day that Joel Eriksson Ek and Jonas Brodin, how do you say it, Josh?
Brodin?
Will not return.
Right.
This season to try to help the Pigs win it.
Nothing official. They have not said that officially.
Well, the media jackals are still asking Pigs coach Gene Snitsky about the two of them, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe Snitsky doesn't want to tell the truth about Eck and Brodin because he thinks it'll give Colorado an edge when it comes to game planning. I don't know.
Well, it's reported that they haven't skated yet, so obviously that's a bad sign.
Yeah. I'm hearing that Brodin, again, this is who knows. I'm hearing that Brodin is done. Eck may come back, but he'll have to play injured. What a mess.
I think all these reporters are soft. We got to send Dr. Andrea Johnson down there to ask the tough questions like she did to Marcus Foligno yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Nick, you should tell Randy and Brad about that.
Oh, yeah, we were talking to Marcus. Well, Randy was here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Randy was here. I forgot that was during Randy's segment.
Yeah, Brad missed it. We were talking to Marcus Foligno yesterday, and our next guest walked into the studio, Dr. Andrea Johnston. She's a veterinarian. She's on every couple of weeks with the program, and she's a hockey mom, hockey fan. Mm-hmm. And just out of nowheres, I said, well, Andrea, do you have a question for Marcus? And she said, yeah, I got a question for Marcus. Who the hell's starting at goalie? And Marcus said, no, he handled it well. Yeah. Johnny Flynn, 10.
He got really mad at me one time.
What happened?
He read something I wrote that he didn't like, and he told me to go F myself in a very aggressive manner.
Yeah.
And then he also suggested I could perform oral on him as well.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. He was real. What did you write? Do you remember?
It's been in the league like 6 years, and everybody kept asking, like, when's he going to break through? When's he going to break through? And I just wrote, like, he is who he is at this point. You know, he's a decent backup, nothing special. I mean, he's never going to become Curry, and because he always had all those expectations on him because he got picked ahead of Steph Curry. And I just told people, like, he is who he is at this point. He's not gonna. That's not gonna launch into stardom. And
wow. And then he got that upset.
Man.
Well, that's funny because Stephon Marbury came after me once in the Wolves locker room, but he did not ask me to perform any sex acts upon him.
Mm. Would you have?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't either.
Not with all the rest of the guys in the locker room.
Yeah. Luke Richard Baamute.
Oh, my God.
Gesundheit. Let's see. Stanley Roberts, 53. Sebastian Telfair, 3. Tyrone Corbin, 23. Trevor Winter, 50. Daniel Marshall, 42. Rocco Zakarski. Oh, he's a current player. It's tough because I've only seen him out there. I want to say Rocco was 44. So did Rick Mahorn. Well, Rick Mahorn never played here. Anyway, back to the Pigs. Sorry, I can't help myself. Without Eriksson Ek on the number 1 power play unit, the Pigs have gone 0 for 5 on the power play through the first 2 games against Colorado. They've gone 2 for 26 on the power play since Game 1 against Dallas.
Man, that's the opposite of getting it going.
Then there's the penalty kill, which was shredded by Dallas. Even with Ek and Brodin, Dallas got the better of them on the power play. Good thing the Pigs were the far better team 5-on-5. So Brodin and Ek are both part of the Wild's top penalty kill unit. Playing against Colorado now, the Avalanche have scored 5 on their last 13 power plays. So it's obvious this team could certainly use these two guys.
For sure.
But from what we're hearing, it may not happen. Speaking of butthurt feelings and this and that, the NHL announced the 25 and 26 Norris Trophy finalists. Now, that's the trophy given out to the best defenseman for you state of hockey wannabes. Fans are wondering how several elite defensemen were left off the final ballot. So sports writers make these picks as to who should be considered for these different National Hockey League trophies. So the three defensemen in the running for the Norris are Rasmus Dahlin of the Buffalo Sabres, Cale Maker, whatever the hell his name is for the Colorado.
Makar.
He's great. And Zach Werenski of the powerhouse Columbus Blue
Come on.
Jackets.
No Quinn Hughes?
No.
Even Brock come on. That's just...
Well, the players that...
I know they can only pick three, but good Lord.
Yeah.
Quinn Hughes.
The player who got boned the worst is Evan Bouchard of the Montreal Canadiens. The dude has 95 points on the season, 21 goals, 74 assists. Why Bouchard would not be in there, I have no idea. The other character that's being brought up more than anybody is Lane Hudson of the Montreal Canadiens. Apparently that dude has been terrific. Yes, some hockey fans are pissed off about Quinn Hughes. As far as points go, yeah, he's not quite with Makar. He's not quite with Werenski. But Bouchard, again, 95 points and isn't in the running. So a lot of hockey fans are upset. Yeah. Hughes won the award in 23-24, finished third in last year's voting, didn't make the cut as far as consideration for the Norris. And we all know Hughes has been outstanding.
Yes, unbelievable. The amount of ice time that guy gets, well, Faber too, but man, it's just amazing how much those guys are on the ice all the time.
Wow, this is an interesting text message from Ambassador of Rubbish Jesus. He says, F that Bouchard character from Ed Mental. He stole my lady back in 2003.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dude.
Really? And somebody earlier said Anthony Peeler?
Yeah.
Former Timberwolf?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Eskimo brother of mine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you stay in touch?
So to speak.
Through that same connection?
See, now I'm
in
regretting.
more ways than one.
No. Brad, do you know the definition of an Eskimo brother?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Dana, since
it's been
you
discussed a time or two on this program.
It has?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no
come
kidding.
up. It's come
Dana,
up.
I'm sorry. No, I didn't bother staying in touch with the guy.
Wouldn't that be fun to have one big Eskimo brother reunion? You all get together, share
Mike
some
Zimmer,
laughs.
Mike Zimmer, Anthony Peeler.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It might be kind of fun.
And as you've heard from Josh and I,
That's an eclectic group.
it's a pretty elite crowd. It is a pretty, athletically speaking, it's an elite crowd.
How'd it look down there when you were with her?
There are Stanley Cup champions. There are NBA champions. If Josh and I were to host an Eskimo brother party, you might want to how do I say this, Josh? You might want to double it as an autograph session.
Have it at Fan HQ.
Yeah.
Come meet Nick's Eskimo brothers.
Yeah.
That would be so much fun. I would love that.
Can't you just picture Anthony Peeler and Mike Zimmer, talking at this party? Having
Oh, God, I forgot about
Did you say Mike
Zim.
Zimmer?
I totally forgot about Zim.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you, Randy.
That's what makes it an eclectic group.
Yeah. Forgot about Zimski. I was just thinking of players.
All the stories they could tell.
Dana, I mean, what do you think about the 1987 Seattle Seahawk offensive line? Every single one of them.
Oh, you want me to name them all off?
No, I'm telling you, every single one of them, Eskimo brother.
Oh, really?
Who? What now?
That's impressive.
Every single one.
Of what?
The 1997 Seattle Seahawks offensive line.
Jesus, criminy.
Now
Dude,
I
that's
got to
sweet.
Google this.
That probably includes that big bastard that played here for a couple of years, Hutchinson.
Also, good for her.
Wasn't his name Hutchinson?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good for Ashley. Good for her.
Yeah. Get it done. Why not?
Why would you assume that's one woman correctly?
You're only young once.
Oh.
Speaking of Steve Hutchinson, one of the first times we were in Vegas, his suite happened to be right next to ours. So it's the off season. It's March. He's looking forward to getting away, and he's staying right next to a bunch of 21-year-old Minnesota Vikings fans. He was nice about it, but you could tell he's like, oh, seriously?
Jesus, Hall of Famers now that I'm thinking of it.
Yeah.
Hall of Famers in my Eskimo brother crowd.
Well, I just Googled the 97 Seahawks offensive line, and it says that the quarterback on that team was Warren Moon. So maybe Warren Moon is an Eskimo brother, too.
Boy, I don't know.
Dude, that would be
that would be an honor for me.
You're going to have to make a telephone call on that one, Josh. You got to find out if Warren Moon was in there, too.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. One of the hardest I ever laughed in my life when a friend of mine walked up to me and told me that one of my ex-girlfriends was currently with Mike Zimmer. I could barely pick myself up off the ground. I was laughing so hard.
Gosh, I wish I would have been there for that moment. Because that does sound so great.
The dude couldn't even say it without laughing. You know what I mean?
How many hours would it have taken you to guess?
Oh, my God.
If he just came up and said, hey, guess who so-and-so has been dating?
Well, I was just going to say, I know this person, and I was shocked.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely shocked.
It was awesome.
I never would have guessed that.
Twins haven't won a series in a while. They'll start a series. They lost to Washington yesterday. They'll start up something tonight in Cleveland. I don't know what. We got all kinds of other things, but we're running low on time. We can save them till Monday. But one more something or another here for you. Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder, did you see video out of St. James, Minnesota? They were trying to raise some money down there yesterday, day before, so they went to the local high school and played a game of donkey basketball.
Oh, gosh, I haven't seen that in forever.
Did you used to do that?
In forever?
Yes. Yeah, we played it at it was a Vikings event, and we played at the Armory, the old Armory.
That is so sweet.
Since we mentioned it earlier, people are
Donkey
texting
ball.
in saying, yeah, it's happened here a few times.
You put some folks on the backs of some adorable donkeys. You run up and down. So my question was, I was surprised that any high school would allow donkeys.
I know, right.
And I asked, do they put something on the donkey's feet? And we all laughed. Well, at least one texter said, yes, they do put rubber shoes on the donkeys for donkey basketball.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, it's adorable.
I just love that, yeah.
I would like to see that, by God.
I'd like to play.
Yeah, me too.
I had the opportunity once.
What wasn't that much fun, I can be honest.
Oh, really?
That's too bad. Yeah, I bet it's one of those things that's fun for a few minutes, and you're kind of like, okay.
Oh, hell no. I think you stick around to the bitter end. For donkey basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah. In case something crazy happens.
I think I would stick around.
Yeah.
Stick around for the whole donkey show?
Oh,
I
hell
will.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, you guys go out and have a great weekend. I'm guessing
Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day on Sunday, so
yes.
Yep.
Just happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
But knowing both of you as well as I do, I'm sure you're hopping into some old Chevy pickup and hitting up Walleye Opener, aren't you, Randy Shaver? And
oh gosh, I'm leaving right after this.
Yeah, you fishing with the?
I am going to the cabin tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to have any time to fish because we know what you'll be doing.
Brad. Yeah, right, Brad.
Well,
there's no time for fishing at your cabin.
Getting the cabin ready.
Different kind of fishing.
Is the dock out yet?
the dock. I'm glad you asked that, Josh.
I was just curious if it was out, and if so, who might have put that in?
The people, the good folks at Nickum Docks got my dock and boat lifts in last week.
I just hit the dump button. That plug didn't go through.
Dang it.
Yeah, Brad doesn't.
Nickum.
Brad doesn't do much fishing up there. I think you'd more define it as like spelunking
or noodling
up there at the cabin.
Oh, man.
All right, you guys, take care.
All right.
Okay.
We'll talk to you on Monday, and we'll come back here for more garbage in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93 X Half-Assed Morning Show.
What's going on, podcast pimps? Dana here to once again sing the praises of standard heating and air conditioning. I got on the ball early. I already got my AC tuned up for summer, and I think you should too. An AC tune-up means better efficiency, fewer breakdowns, and peace of mind before we get choke slammed with heat. And right now, it's their early bird special. $45 off an AC tune-up or $90 and you add your furnace in as well. Smart folks like me don't wait for the first 80-degree day. We plan ahead. Book by May 25th and check it off your list at standardheating.com. Providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Years of hard work, and now you've got pain in your back, your shoulders, your knees, maybe your joints. You need help. Randy Shaver here with the answer. Dave Bialke. He's got over 30 years experience in getting workers' compensation benefits for people just like you. Don't suffer. Call Bialke Law today, 763-571-2410, or go to bialkelaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com. And it spells relief for you.
My name is Megan Klingenberg. I was a professional soccer player for over 10 years, and like most players, I gotta be honest, I have some baggage when it comes to referees. I wanted to know, who are these refs? What kind of person gives up their weekend to call fouls and hand out cards? Why do they do it? So this time on the U.S. Soccer Podcast, I'm going to referee camp. The U.S. Soccer Podcast presented by Henkel. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
The Half-Ass Morning Show, 93X.
What a hell of a deal we got going here. Welcome back to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. It's Friday. It's the Walleye Opener. You got the Pigs this weekend. You got the Wolves. You got the Frost. New guys in the corner.
Can't handle it, can he?
He's puking his guts out.
Too much stress.
Yeah.
Wants his teams to win.
Let me share a text message with you real quick. Tell me if you've ever been in this situation. Earlier on, a listener texted in and said, "Can you give a shout out to the folks who are buying piles of scratch-off tickets at the gas station during the morning rush? Those people are true heroes."
Oh, you suck, dude.
Oh, I hate
Don't
that.
do that.
Oh.
It's payday.
And then there's the people that are cashing them in, and then they, or no, I'll take 3 of those, 2 of those.
I hate when they go up there without a plan.
Yes,
Have
exactly.
a plan.
Or like if there's a real long line at a restaurant and somebody goes up there and they haven't even thought about the order yet.
Oh,
and
my
just a ton of
gosh.
people
And
buying.
it's a place like McDonald's where it's,
Right?
it's not like the menu changes all that often.
Oh my gosh, it makes me irrationally angry. I just had an experience like that at the pharmacy. The person up there, I was like, "Is this your first time ever picking up a medication? Your first time? Hurry up."
Actually shoves her out of the way. I'll show you how it's done.
Yeah, move out of the way, old lady.
Just an old lady. That makes it funnier. Then you got so mad.
Yeah, no grace. You have no grace in you.
No, I had the baby with me, so I'm on a time limit at that point.
Again with the baby, Josh always says.
I got one of those.
Is that the deal, Josh? Is it payday when folks get in line for the lottery tickets at the gas station? I've had that experience once or twice where I just want to buy my my can of RC Cola, and maybe my can of chewing tobacco, and some derelict is playing 11 hands of lottery scratch-off tickets there at the counter. Yeah, I've never been a lottery guy in any way, shape, or form. Never played any of the Powerballs. I mean, Grandpa would let me hold the remote after they read the numbers on the Powerball, but I never played any of that stuff.
I have one that's been just a giant jackpot, where the news starts covering it, stuff like that. That's just more for the fun of it. But there was one time we were up to the wire. They stop at 10. Is that what it is?
Sounds right.
It was within a couple minutes, and I made the mistake of allowing a woman to go in front of me. And she did exactly what you said, Dana, where maybe I'll do this, whatever. She wanted to fill out her numbers, and people behind were pissed. And I thought, I was trying to do a nice thing. I didn't realize she was going to take it up. So by the time I was the next person in line, and by the time I got there, I couldn't buy one either. It was too late.
The only time I've ever done the big Powerballs is in my last job. Someone would send out the email, "Hey, we're going in together. We're making a pool." And I could not live with myself if I didn't get in that pool and I saw all those dumbasses I couldn't stand win a bunch of money.
Yep.
A similar experience that I can relate to would be when you're at your neighborhood bar and 11 21-year-olds come into the joint and they each go up to the bar. Now there's a long line. We got 11 21-year-olds. They each go up to the bar and buy an individual drink for themselves because they're not at that age yet where they buy rounds.
Yep. That's the worst.
So the kid up in the front gets a Captain Coke and he moves along, and all of them use cards now. None of them use cash, so it's the process of signing the receipt, and then the next kid, I'll take a PBR. He gets out his card. That can be my buddies and I used to go to a lot of Twins games, and we would go to, I think this is similar, too, to waiting in line behind lottery ticket junkies. We'd go to the Twins games. We'd always go to Sneaky Pete's after the game. I can't remember if it was before or after the game, but our beloved bro, Wally the Beer Man, would set up shop there with a big bathtub of ice and beer. There were 3 choices. It was Budweiser, it was friggin' Mick Golden Light, or it was Coors Light. 3 choices. And it would take some people 10 minutes while he would say, "What can I get you, Mac?" I don't know. It's Bud. It's Coors. You've got 3 choices. Pick one. It's canned beer, dude. It's canned domestic beer. How different can the experience be from one to the other? That would get to me.
A couple of years ago, I was out to lunch with a group, and there's this one gal there, very high maintenance and picky with her order. She has to sample all of the salad dressings to determine which one she wanted.
I've never even heard of that.
I know. It was mortifying. I almost wanted to get up and leave. Or just, like, go slide the server like an extra 20. Like, I am so sorry. I'm so embarrassed right now. How could their ranch dressing or their Italian dressing be much different than the other ones you've had in your life?
How do we put up with this kind of stuff, Cubby?
You just got to have a little patience.
How do you keep it together?
You just got to have some peace. You never know what somebody's going through.
Yeah, I try to think about that. I think I am getting better at it in some cases, but sometimes it comes back.
You just want to shove an old lady at the pharmacy?
Yep.
A little patience, Josh said, and so did Guns N' Roses on their 1989 record, Lies. Lies! That was a big hit. Okay, real quick. You ready? What's your weirdest hobby? Go.
Where do I start?
I guess, does everybody in the world have to think it's weird, or like you guys just think it's weird?
Ashley, you go
say.
whatever route you feel.
I guess I like to look for rocks. I like to look for agates. That's a little weird. Some people think that's
Right.
dorky.
You're into, what's the big word for that?
What? Geology.
Geology.
Yes.
You go walk along a beach and pick up rocks, bring them home. Do you shine them up real nice?
No, I don't have a rock tumbler. I know where you're going with that, but I actually don't like to do that. I think it makes them look like artificial.
Josh looks artificial.
Well, it's the plastic surgery.
Because you're so beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Are you fanning yourself?
I have to fan myself.
He's fanning himself.
I wasn't expecting that.
Josh, weird hobby? You had something to say?
No. Well, I was going to mention just about the rocks. When we were, out of town here, I was going to get you. My wife found like a rock on the back of a turtle. And it didn't say SeaWorld on it, though. I wanted something that said SeaWorld on it. But so, I don't know, would you have liked something like that?
That is so cute, yes.
God darn it, I said, she probably wants something that says SeaWorld on it.
No, that's awesome.
Weird hobbies, Dana. Where do we start? You're the quirk king of Hennepin County.
Now, keep in mind we have 20 minutes left of the show.
I mean, you guys tell me, because, you guys think my entire existence is bizarre.
It is. Mm-hmm. Lego, old video games.
Yep.
You got to pick a weirdest one.
I've recently taken to watching YouTube documentaries about old school video games.
Okay, the making of the game.
Right.
That sounds pretty cool, though. That's a little less weird.
Is it less
than
weird?
Some other things.
The graphics. The characters, you're interested in all of it?
I think probably the weirdest one, and I think my friends and family would agree, was having a midlife crisis and becoming obsessed with the Buffalo Bills at age 35.
Yeah, that is kind of strange that you just out of nowhere picked a team.
I stopped picking on you for that because I didn't think you were enjoying it too much, but since you brought it up, yeah that's friggin' weird.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about that recently, too, and I think the big thing about it was I had worked in sports media so long that I grew to hate sports. I didn't root for any teams. I'd casually watch, but I didn't really care. And then all of a sudden, liking the Bills I felt like I was 12 years old, like rooting for my team again and buying merch and getting excited. That was a big part of it for me, was just all of a sudden like having that fandom back.
Yeah,
you did buy merch.
I bought some merch.
Some might say that you took it a little too far. Some might say that you overdid it a little bit. Hey, Ashley.
Yes.
Josh's long-lost brother, Jesus, says this. He says, your rock collecting isn't weird. He says, Josh's mother polishes his stones.
Oh. Wait, say the name of the Jesus again?
Nick's long-lost brother, Jesus.
That makes it less gross.
He originally said Josh's long-lost.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I don't think he thought that one through.
I can't think of any hobbies that I have that might be considered weird. I like to watch sports on television. I like to watch old television shows. I like to listen to music.
I like to play pool. That's not
Pocket
weird.
billiards. I can't think of anything that might be considered weird. Anyway, do you care to know the strange hobbies of some celebrities? Oh, we love the famous people, don't we? What are they into? What are they wearing? What do they do with their free time?
What do they smell like?
Star effers. All of you, star effers. I got myself a little report here. Okay, Tom Hanks. He collects vintage typewriters.
Oh, he's big into that.
You knew that, huh?
Yeah, I heard. Maybe it was. I heard him on a podcast. Maybe Conan O'Brien's podcast. He was talking about that.
That's pretty cool. I like to go to antique stores quite a bit. I just like to, bop around. And
Sure.
every time I see like an old school typewriter, I think, where would that look good in my house? But I never end up pulling the trigger.
There's like people are really into old pens and stuff like that. Just gotta collect some of those.
Is that from being in the Pen 15 Club?
Yeah, I was in the Pen 15 Club in the Pen Island.
People collect old pens?
Yeah, pens.
Really?
There's even speaking of podcasts again, there's a podcast all about that. Collectors of pens. And you hear them talk about it with this passion, and they understand all the intricacies of these fancy pens, and some of them are incredibly expensive.
You listen to this podcast?
I know I don't have a leg to stand on here in terms of nerdom and being odd, but man, a pen podcast doesn't sound very thrilling.
I'm aware of the podcast. I didn't say I listened to it.
All right. I just wanted to make sure.
Never missed an episode.
Everybody's got their thing. So Tom Hanks collects vintage typewriters. I mean, you got to be rich for that. Because you probably have to have, those are big bastards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got to have a few extra rooms if you're a collector of vintage typewriters, and you got to have a strong back. Those things were like cannonballs back in the day.
I love the sound of a typewriter.
Me
I
too.
grew up, my dad was a writer, and so I'd hear that coming out of his office every single day.
Didn't he used to write letters for the Penthouse Forum?
Yeah, that's how I knew they were fake. My buddies would be like, "Oh, did you hear about this?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was my dad. My dad typed that in. It's not real."
I didn't think this was a weird hobby at first, but now I'm imagining being at somebody's house and they open up a door and they're like, "This is my typewriter room with all like hundreds of typewriters." That's a little weird.
I think it's kind of cool.
Just to freak your mom out, did he ever leave a bunch of pages on the typewriter that said, "All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy"?
Not that I'm aware of.
Over and over and over again. And then he said, "Wendy, light of my life, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to bash your brains in. I'm going to bash them right the F in." What movie? The Shining. What year? 1980. Weird hobbies. We'll come back to this. Ashley said you like to go into antique stores.
Yep.
You ought to hook up with now. You ought to go in a motor vehicle with my sister. Josh, in the words of Nacho Libre, take it easy.
Yeah, I'm just doing yoga breaths over here to calm down.
You ought to get in the car with my sister and her kid.
They love doing that kind of stuff?
They go to every empty, vintage style of store. They're not satisfied unless there's an inch of dust on everything in the, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Old books, old clothes, old hose.
That's awesome.
Got to wrap her up. We got on a conversation of weird hobbies. Somebody coughed up a report here on some of the strange hobbies of famous people. All right, so Tom Hanks collects vintage typewriters. I don't want to spend too much time on this, really, because it's not that interesting. Our listeners texted in with much more interesting answers as far as strange hobbies, but just because I don't want to mislead anybody. What's the word I'm looking for? I want to be honest. I said I would cough up this information. I'm going to do it. Tom Hanks collects vintage typewriters. Angelina Jolie grew up collecting knives.
You can see that.
Amanda Seyfried. Josh, you know how much I love you, right?
Yeah.
I'd stab you to death with a broken-off car antenna just to hear Amanda Seyfried burp over a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, I know you're a fan.
She collects taxidermied animals. Terry Crews is a sketch artist. Dave Bautista collects old lunch boxes. At this point, Dave Bautista is an old lunchbox. Henry Cavill loves to play World of Warcraft. Nicolas Cage is a moron. Mike Tyson raises pigeons. Yeah, we all know that. And Jason Ramona, how do you say his name?
Momoa?
Marona?
Momoa?
He's a painter. How is that weird? The topic here, the article says, strange hobbies of celebrities. Jason Ramona is a painter. What's weird about that?
Maybe just because he's a big, giant dude that might look funny holding a tiny brush. I don't know.
All right, so I wanted to cut through all that because our listeners sent in some much more interesting stuff as far as their weird hobbies, and a lot of it is collecting out of the ordinary things. Like Brando Jesus, he collects old ashtrays from restaurants and whatnot.
I've heard the McDonald's ashtrays from back in the day, they command a lot of money online. If you still have one sitting around, I'm talking like $400 or $600.
Man.
Oh, this made me remember this like weird hobby I had for a little bit when I would go to restaurants, and if they had like a smaller utensils, like a cute little spoon or a cute little fork or a cute little ramekin, I would take those.
I don't even know what a ramekin is.
My wife's grandma would, anything that was on the table ended up in her purse. She would take anything not bolted down.
I hope I might be saying it wrong, a ramekin, but it's like it's like a little dish you can put sauce in.
Oh my God. You would swipe those items.
Yeah, I just liked that they were cute and small.
I like this text from iLab Jesus. My wife, he says, likes to collect old furniture, typically hand-me-downs from her grandma. We have to have that, she says. Yeah, it's ugly, and we literally don't have the physical space for it in our house. Maybe one day I'll say that out loud.
Oh, my gosh. Seriously. Where's that going? We don't need that.
I mean, if you're a cigarette smoker, I can see the attraction of snatching up some ashtrays, some vintage ashtrays that say Red Lobster on it, or what was the pizza place we went to when we were kids? Shakey's. Fish and Chips. What was that place called? Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips. Anyway, one of our listeners is 37 years old, and she says her new hobby, and I don't know if this is a joke. I don't even understand what I'm saying. But she tells us via text at 37 years old, her new hobby is hermit crab husbandry.
So you're getting hermit crabs and then finding them husbands?
She says, I'm obsessed with the little guys. I don't know what she's talking about.
I had some of those when I was in school. They I don't know, you get them, you send them home, and you keep them alive. Mine died, but...
We had a couple.
Does anyone... I'm sorry, Josh. What happened?
My older kids had a couple. We used to take them out to play in the lawn, and one day they never came back.
What? I didn't know you could take them out of their little...
Oh, they love to play basketball.
Oh, hermit crab husbanding refers to the process of providing proper care, environment, and enrichment so that the hermit crabs can live healthy, long lives in captivity.
That sounds fun.
I will be dipped. One of our listeners used to collect spoons.
That's a big one.
From different cities and states and countries.
So you're the reason they always have those at the touristy places. Like, why are there so many spoons?
It seems like that's a pretty popular hobby.
I've never heard of that.
Coin collectors.
Never heard of collecting spoons.
Obviously now cards.
Coin collectors are cool.
Another says, my friends think I'm weird because I collect antique snowmobiles and vintage outboard motors. What do you got, a pole barn or something? Where the hell are you putting antique snowmobiles and vintage outboard motors?
That sounds sweet.
Yeah.
Who would think that's weird?
I don't know.
That's cool.
I think, honestly, I don't think anyone tells him it's weird. He just wanted to brag a little bit.
Oh, yeah, could be.
Intermediate Jesus said, weird hobby? I customize Star Wars figures.
I had a buddy that did that.
Endearing.
You were talking about money, Dana?
Yeah.
He could retire from the amount of money he'd make.
Help me out, Josh. Does that mean he'll buy a Han Solo doll and then alter the doll to look different? What does that mean?
Well, I could tell you with my friend, he'd just create an entire world from Star Wars and sell it.
So he creates his own figures?
No, he would buy them and just kind of put them in this environment where it just looked like a scene out of the movie. He did the same with pinball machines. He would make some of those things.
Sounds like so much fun.
Oh, he's got a lot of talents. He usually uses them for evil, but he could do stuff like that, and it was incredible. It looked like something you could just buy out of a store, or better.
Finally.
And he hates Star Wars, by the way. He just did it for money.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
Wasn't into Star Wars at all.
I kind of want to do that. That sounds like so much fun.
Everyone hates Star Wars. Finally, before we go, as far as a weird hobby, this is hot cocoa Jesus. She's into perennium sunning.
Oh, yeah. We've heard about the health benefits of that.
I'd love to join you sometime.
Sounds ouchy, but...
She says, I know it's weird, it may not be practical, but it kills the bikini spiders.
You know, it was cool when she said it, but when you said you wanted to join Dana, that kind of grossed me out a little bit.
I didn't like that either, as I said it.
I've been there myself.
Mm-hmm. I want to walk that one back.
Bye.
All right, strap in. Strap in. It's a big shout-out day. First, happy Mother's Day to moms of all kinds in the listening audience. Good luck at the fishing opener to Jared and Big D from your dad and to all the walleye fishermen out there. Congratulations to the Betty Whiteouts, who just won the 2026 Blaine Super Rink Spring Broomball League Championship.
Sweet.
Best of luck to Adam and his basketball tournament this weekend at Stillwater from Dad, U of M Recycling Jesus. Good luck to Mackenzie tomorrow. She's running a 5K.
Oh.
Run like the wind, says P-Man and Mom. Happy belated to Zoe. Turned the big 06 yesterday. Happy birthday to Nick from Kyle. God's going to sit this one out, Jesus. Text a birthday shout out to his beautiful wife, Mandy. Happy 40th tomorrow to Landfill Jesus' smoking hot wife, married way down Jesus. Happy 58th to Ed Al Bundy Jesus from your hot mama Jesus, biker mama Jesus. And happy birthday to Blaine Brook Jesus from your smoking hot girlfriend Amanda, who says she can't wait to give you 32 spankings and then, quote, some later. Have a great weekend.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
What's going on, podcast pimps? Dana here to once again sing the praises of standard heating and air conditioning. I got on the ball early. I already got my AC tuned up for summer, and I think you should too. An AC tune-up means better efficiency, fewer breakdowns, and peace of mind before we get choke slammed with heat. And right now, it's their early bird special. $45 off an AC tune-up or $90 and you add your furnace in as well. Smart folks like me don't wait for the first 80-degree day. We plan ahead. Book by May 25th and check it off your list at standardheating.com. Providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.